Listen, the only way this thing will be official is if the people choose it. So that means share the show. Hump Day edition, Outlaw Radio. You know what it do. You know what time it is. You know who we are. But I'm still going to tell you, right? My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer, also known in some circles as the world-class smartass, right? I am super happy to be able to bring you another edition of Outlaw Radio on a Wednesday night, our second show of the week. For people who say, man, y'all be missing too many shows. We double bubbled this week, and we're going to try to stay consistent in the new year. I'm not alone. You can see I got a plethora of Negroes in the building with me tonight, man. So this is the show, right? hit share, tell people share the show. That's really what we want. I want to shout out my sponsor here tonight. But first, let me tell you, make sure we get this up and running, okay? So, first of all, the show is presented by EPU Personal Defense, website being EPUSDS.com, right? We're going to get into that. Outlaw Radio, fight or flight. We'll see if you know what it means. Mr. Witch Doctor, what's popping with you?
Peace, man. Everything is good. Everything is good. How y'all doing out there? And welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, mama, they go to see man.
That's what's happening, right? Support black business. There's always a method to our madness. Support black businesses, right? You hear me talking, right? Rail, what it do, man? Mr. Fonzarelli. You looking mighty spliffy tonight, on time. I see you got your man bun in. What's popping? Is that a man unit?
Chilling, man. You know, blessings upon blessings. You know, I welcome my nephew in the world today.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know, and it's just a reminder, you know, the beauty of life, man. You know, there's always shit going on in the world, but then there's always a beautiful child being born somewhere.
There we go. And that's the best thing in the world. Ain't nothing more innocent than a newborn baby, right? Man, that's good times.
Baby, pappy.
right. I'm the pappy. So let me ask y'all a question. Get out your car late at night. Hit your alarm. You know, kind of quiet. Walk up to your door. Turn around to somebody in the bushes. You say, give me them keys, motherfucker. He ain't got no gun in his hand, but he coming towards you. What do you do? Pause. Don't answer that question. I have my sponsor here tonight. And we're going to make sense of all of this whole movement. I'm happy to be a part of it. So, my brother, tell these people who you are and what you do.
So, pretty much, you know, like I said, I grew up in the city. Everybody know me. Name's Fletcher. That's what they go by, Fletch.
Okay.
Everybody know me, you know what I'm saying? Originated here. Graduate, Milwaukee Tech, one of the greatest high schools in the city. Let you know that. It's all good. Military vet, Desert Storm veteran, Kippo Goju black belt, trainer to Mr. Sensei Charles Warren. And that's what, you know, that's where I really get my background from, about trying to teach and do whatever I had to do. During COVID, I created, you know, thought about it, created my business. Just got tired of seeing all these kid boys getting jacked. You know, some crime affected me. Some things affected me back in the, you know, a couple years ago. I said, you know, I need to turn what I like to do, what I love to do, into a business. But I want to break it down so everybody can learn at the right level of where they at. Because everybody pretty much do not want to take 4 to 5 years, you know, in a dojo, going the route that I went to, you know. But like, I got 3 daughters, and I had to show them something quick to make sure when they left this house that they felt safe, or they knew how to defend themselves.
Okay.
So that's basically how the business got started.
And so the name of your business, what's the name of your business?
EPU Personal Self-Defense Business, LLC. That's what it's called. EPU is e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, because I love those Latin terms.
Okay.
And, meaning this business is the one that's going to show you how to, basically show you how to defend yourself. Because your personal safety, your personal being is really up to you. No one really is going to come and save you except yourself. But you got to have the knowledge and the keys to do it.
Okay, there we go. Let me check my chat. All right, Johnson, how you doing, sis? My little cousin. She said, "Whoop his ass." If he running towards her. See, our blood is what it is. That would have, if you in my family, that would have been
Yeah.
A. Right? Everybody would say, "Whoop his ass." He ain't got no gun either. Dion, Dion, I see. He said, it's a full motherfucking house. It's Outlaw Radio, man. Y'all share the show. Outlaw Radio, Fight or Flight. Still gonna keep breaking down what my brother's talking about. So let's talk about Milwaukee first of all. And you and I had a pretty. It was unique, but it was consistent with most of the cats who I know. Coming up in our city, depending on where you grew up at and whether or not you jumped off the porch, one thing you had to get a familiarity with is how to throw them things. Or you was gonna consistently get beat on and punked, right? And run over, right? Ran amok. And so I want to talk about why there's a need for personal self-defense training. And like we spoke about earlier, everybody thinks, oh, well, if somebody come at me, I'm just gonna put my fist up and punch them in their shit and knock them out.
Exactly.
And it's not that simple in technique, and it's not that simple in psyche, right?
Exactly.
Like psychologically, people really ain't meant to just walk around bashing other people in the face. But if you're willing to do so, it's a unique trait. So, but everybody doesn't have this. So some people can benefit from your training because you teach them technique and how to strike, right?
Exactly. So the bottom line of what we do is I'm giving you the basics, right? We're just not coming to a class and we just showing you a bunch of stuff and expect you to do it. You're going to get, first of all, we do seminars. You're going to get all kind of why this happens. You get what happens to your brain, how you feel, how you react, right? That's the start. Because your personal self-defense starts right here up in the nugget, in your noggin, right? If somebody run up on you and you don't have nothing in your brain or a file or a database to fall back on, you just gonna sit there and freeze up, right? We don't want you to do that. We're not saying the first thing is we don't want you to be no tough guy, because fighting and self-defense is totally two different things. That's first of all.
Okay.
But we gonna basically take you through the basics so you understand that you have options now. Most people don't know they have options, and they take the option of flight. That may not be the best thing. And if they have to throw them, they need to understand that you're fighting for your life over this is a sport. There's no timeout. There's no, okay, you got it. Get off me because you're doing whatever. They beat that. Oh, like the couple weeks ago, them two young dudes jumped on that elderly man. And then once they was on him, he didn't realize that they were stomping him out like that. Right. Mm-hmm. Not to saying but that's just the mentality of what I call hunters, right? When they out here hunting, you know what I'm saying? Their mind frames is different over a regular civilian just walking around here working, trying to get from A to B. Totally different mindset. That's why I say self-defense first starts in your mind before you do anything physical.
Okay. Now let me catch my chat room, because I want them to stay with us. And if you have any questions or comments, please call in. The number is 262-202-202-5131. Damn, I got a dry throat. Cottonmouth, if you will. There's a cash app down here, and then there's my brother's his details for his business and his website. So, okay, I said this on the last show. Let me catch the chat room. I said something I thought was funny. Now I'm starting to wonder because you told me about your background. Tiarsha Arthur, how you doing, my sister? Good evening, Kevin Kamar Rail, guest and Outlaw Radio.
Peace.
Mama Jenkins, love for Mama Jenkins in the chat room. She said, good evening, my Outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do. Taxes raised and everybody in City Hall get higher wages. Boy, these taxes got us feeling some kind of way, don't they? When you go get what used to be $5.96, you be in the store like, what the fuck? What? I hadn't done the arithmetic on this. This is some bullshit. We're gonna talk about that tonight, Mama Jenkins. You know we will, especially since our suburban counterparts are suing. They trying to sue and get, just because we got the same area code. Oh, no. Come on in. Come on. Sit your ass down. MC Tone in the chat room, he said, back in the day, I fought 6 cops on Burleigh Street. They beat the perm off my ass. That was the last fight I lost. Well, that's unfortunate that you got your ass whooped by 6 police on Burleigh, MC Tone. But I said the other night when I was trying to promote you coming on, and I was saying personal self-defense is not necessarily karate. Like,
right.
Is it karate? Because I'm thinking it's not all based on kung fu. When I took personal self-defense courses, it wasn't it was like there was a lot of things. There was boxing stances, and even when like grabbing people was like wrestling. So it wasn't like karate. So yours is based on martial arts.
So ours is based on martial arts, but it's the simplest. It's the simplest form. You take bits and pieces of everything, Muay Thai, all styles, right?
Okay.
To give, and for me, we break it down. What would a reasonable, normal person be able to do, right? And that's what we show you. We give you certain things to practice, but we let you understand from a person who hasn't been in any fights, right? Like I was explaining to you about my daughters. My daughters, I don't really believe they've been in any physical altercation. When you go on my website, that's my middle daughter. When she first came to class, she wanted to stop because she was like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. But after we explained it to her, this is what you're learning, right? She finished the course and basically was one of the best that we had in there. So what I'm saying is when you say self-defense, it's not any one thing. It's whatever you need to do, whether it's verbal, de-escalation, hey, brother, hey, sister, we ain't even got to do that. You're talking somebody down. And if you can't talk them down, now I at least know where to hit you or what to do to get you up off me, right?
Okay.
So that's where we're going. And as you go further and further, you learn more and more. But you're not expected to be like, oh, we go like you see on TV, John Wick right out the gate,
right?
XYZ right out the gate. No, we showing you, keep your 3 feet. Once they get in that 3 feet, you got to strike first, right?
Okay.
But we telling you everything to do. We're showing you everything to do. But it's basically a stress-based type skill.
Okay.
So you mean to tell me I ain't gonna be able to walk in a building and whoop 50 niggas and come out without
right? What am I?
I'm not saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can. But what I'm saying is levels to it.
Right.
It's levels. I'm looking at.
I'm just joking, man. I got you.
So here's the thing too. The reason why I thought of this, I'm gonna tell you this real quick story. My wife was like, my oldest daughter wanted to play basketball. She was in 5th grade. I was like, so Brittany don't know how to play basketball, but she on the basketball team. So she said, come to the game. All right, I'll come to the first game. I come to the first game. This is at a Lutheran school. This is at Atonement. I'm sitting in the stands, and they doing everything. She traveling. She throwing the. I'm up in the hollering. You ain't supposed to be doing none of that. I'm like, the coach ain't showed her how to do nothing. I said, wait till this game is over. She walked up to the stands and said, Dad, my coach said, can you stop hollering? I was like, oh, wait till this game over. I got you. So the game was over. I was so embarrassed, right? I was like, walked down there, walked up to the coach. He said, oh, Mr. Fletcher, I heard you, I heard you understand. Did you want to help coach the team? I was like, oh, that ain't what I thought you was going to say. But yeah, I do it. So long story short, half the battle of getting somebody right is getting them to understand what they're doing. A lot of those girls did not know basketball terms. They didn't know nothing about basketball. So I took those girls, which was my daughter included, and the people who knew something about basketball, they stayed on one side. I took the other ones to the other and showed them the basics, right? This is the free throw. This is what this means. This is what this means. I took that same philosophy, and this is what I'm doing to my class. Because a lot of people think they can fight and do whatever, and they got to throw in their hands, and they really don't. They really don't know. But you should know if somebody was to break it down to you, right? Break it. I ain't talking about like years and years. I'm talking about this is what you need to do, step by step, and this is what we do for you.
Okay, Juice Lady in the building. I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see
You
your.
never
Oh,
I didn't see it down there. I didn't see it down because it's you had to see my screen to understand. So my apologies to you. Welcome to the show, Courtney. How you doing tonight?
I'm well in yourself.
We are good. We have my brother, Mr. Fletch, John Fletcher himself.
Everybody call me Fletch.
Okay.
Hey Fletch, how you doing?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
And he is the proprietor of EPU Personal Self Defense, as well as the creator of the EPU system, which I want to ask him about. Hold on, let me shout my chat room. Mark Ross, I see you, my brother. He said he just got off the air. Welcome to the show. How you doing? How you doing? NC Jordan, who is a fight aficionado as well, a fighter himself, right? MMA style. So I figured he would chime in. But so explain to us what's the EPU system.
So basically, what the EPU system is, it's a system of basically learning from your basics. I'm talking about from the mind all the way up to something physical, right? We're giving you how the law works, how your body works, and so you could understand how you work. First, we're training you to understand yourself, right? Once you understand yourself, understand what your mind is doing, what your brain is doing, then we're going to introduce you to the physical part, right? And then we start you from the basics, how to stance, how to tighten up your fist. We give you 2 to 3 moves. We come back the next week, give you 3 to 4 moves. Come back the next week, 5 to 6. You keep building moves on top of moves on top of moves. During the last week, now we test you. My sensei puts on a red man suit, and then you demonstrate basically what you learned for those 8 weeks that you've been training, right? Now you get into a real scenario where somebody's on your ass and they ain't letting up off of you. So now you experience for yourself what it's really like being attacked by somebody who really wants to get you. Okay. After that, then you can choose to do another 8 weeks and then another 8 weeks. But the bottom line is it's always education, teaching over the physical first, giving you options.
Okay. Now, when I was in college for an elective, I took personal self-defense. Mm-hmm. And it's the funniest story. I had this white dude. His name was Master Lee. He looked like Jed Speakman, right? And Park Clint Eastwood, right? And he was like really about his kung fu. And he used to tell us all these stories about how he was in bar fights and he beat all these dudes up. And some of the stuff he was showing us made sense, right? And we used to be like, man, Master Lee ain't, he ain't no punk. But then when he put on that suit that you're talking about, and he got we all had to he was attacking us. And it was probably about 6 of us on the football team. So we was diesel strong. Man, we got to throwing this dude around in that room, man, trying to do these moves in that suit. And then one of the white boys on the team was a wrestler. He was a real college level wrestler. Man, he had that white boy red. I mean, he had Master Lee purple and green. He had him balled up in the corner, man. We was on the floor laughing so hard. But he was good at showing us the punches and the angles and where to hit at. But I'm just saying, I want people to understand just because they take a couple classes with you,
right?
You ain't ready for no real brawler like that, right?
Correct.
I mean, because at the time, I'm probably bench pressing 350, 360 pounds easily. And he's coming at me with a suit on. Well, show me what you would do. I'm like, okay. Whoa! Just throwing him. I'm gonna throw you up against the wall, right? He's like, no, Kevin. I mean, use a technique. I'm like, this is a technique we use on Capitol when somebody come at us.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, if you go, I want to talk about how do people sign up for your classes, first of all.
All you gotta do is give me a call.
Okay.
The next session I'm doing is going to be on Axon, the 18th Axon Dojo, Kippo Goju Dojo.
Yes.
Starting at the end of the month.
They just had a loss, didn't they? They lost one of the.
Right. We lost. So the sensei there basically was my sensei that trained me. I was his first black belt, Sensei Lamar Saxton.
Okay.
He died in his sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, that I mean it was a big thing. So, and the thing about it is, I was getting all those senseis, getting the organization basically how it should be business wise, right? And Sensei Lamar was doing so better, right, as far as the organization up there. And then right in the middle of all everything, I don't know if it was too much, but it was just a lot of stress. It was just a lot of stress over there, and he had passed away in his sleep. But Sensei Skip, who is a partner with me in this business, and like all these, so Sensei Skip, Sensei Warren, all these guys are Marines, right? I'm talking about Vietnam. We're talking about Desert Storm. We're talking about just pretty much between all three of them, 100 years of just discipline, right? So when we say what works and what doesn't work, it's already been kind of proven what we've shown. And what I want everybody to really realize is, and when I'm talking, that a fight and self-defense is totally different, because you cannot knock the human spirit, meaning you don't know what's on that other person's mind, right? Whether he wants to kill you, whether he wants to do whatever to you. That's why I said it's totally different. Like what you do in the dojo, like how you were saying, when we practice and what he showed you, you try to get it off against somebody that's high, drunk, just whatever they on, right?
Right.
They ain't moving or doing anything that you think looks familiar. So now what, right? Now what you gonna do? That's the biggest difference between what we teach and in martial arts. Meaning the moves do work, but you got to put it into a perspective for people to understand it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
In short term. Short term.
Okay. Let me get my chat room. Chat room on deck. Mama Jenkins said, "Little buddy said you can go to Cracker Barrel. Funny as hell." I guess the mayor, little buddy, is trading barbers with the suburban county executives over sales taxes. He told him to go to Cracker Barrel. I got to see that. I got to find that. I want to read that because I hadn't kept up with it. I've been on the plantation all day. Ewok the Great said, "Ewok the Great here." MC Tone asked, he said, "So after class, how many hoes can I knock out?" Right.
We don't really condone that, but
well, it's MC Tone, so MC Tone does what he wants to do. Cuzzo said MC Tone should be a good 5 of them. He said, Ernest Walker said, "Don't get beat up listening to dude, Courtney." You crazy. How you doing, Chantel Gwen? She said, "Hello, Outlaw family." Mariah said, "You have to adapt to the fight you're in." Yeah, you do. And I agree with you. A fight is different because it's so direct and it's so, your adrenaline jumps, it's there. But getting caught off guard and saying, "Oh shit," that's why I named the show Fight or Flight. Because it's also symbolic to where we are as people, foundational Black Americans right now, where you see the threat, you see the damage it's doing. So mentally, we have to make up our mind: are we going to fight or are we going to run? Are we going to fold? So it's fight or flight. So I just kind of made that crossing, that connection. But like you said, once you figure out I'm not going to run, so what's next? So what training do I lean on? I do want to say I grew up on 17th and Capitol, and so that dojo on Atkinson, like
18th, yep.
yeah, we walked past. I mean, we used to just stand there, and when Black Belt Theater and shit was popping in Milwaukee, we used to stand there and look through the window and just watch them dudes in there. So it's been there. I know 40 years.
Yeah,
I know it's been there 40
years. It's 50 plus now because we just had the 50th. It would have been in 2020, but we had to get delayed because of COVID. So yeah, but it's 50 plus now. Mr. Warren been around for a long time. He was the first Black person that taught in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee.
Okay.
That was one of the first. It was 1972 YMCA dojo.
Okay. So I always wondered how much does this cost? If I want to take a few classes, what's the ticket?
So it's pretty much the classes. The classes are $80 a person. It's kids to 35, right? It's an 8-week course. You get material with it as well, and a certificate at the end of the course. You get to choose, and plus you still have us to come down and train as well if you still want to train, right? It's really 8 3-week course because each 8 weeks you go up higher and higher, right? Your first 8 weeks, you just getting your feet wet, right? Now you got your feet wet, you got a feel for it. The second 8 weeks, it goes up a little more. Now it's a little more pressure, a little more different tactics. You know, it just gets rougher after that. As one of my posts, from this point on, it only gets rougher, right? The third 8 weeks, we introduce weapons, right? That's where you go into your conceal and carry. You introduce more serious scenarios and things that you can do with weapons. That's basically if you choose, and at each phase, you can just choose to take the first 8 weeks and then leave right there, right? So it's no right or wrong in this right here. What we're really teaching you is giving you options, that you have options. Like your daughter's going off to college. She's never been in a fight. Your son's going off to college, walking around here, going into a new state. You can't be with them, right? It's good for them to know something.
Yeah. Shout out to Joy
35
Phillips.
to 85 a week, or is it
No.
per day?
30 it's 35 and 80 for the whole 8 weeks. The course.
Okay.
Right. So the kids would be 35, the adults would be 80.
Okay.
For the whole 8 weeks. And
Joy Phillips in the chat room. And Joy's another kid from the neighborhood. He was our sensei after Black Belt Theater. Joy had us in the basement learning Shaolin Kung Fu. So he definitely knows when I say we used to peek in those windows and be trying to learn those moves. So I know about that dojo. That's what I'm saying. Historically, that's a crucial part of our neighborhood. The barbershop is sitting next to it.
Correct. And I would tell everybody that is a good basic way to start if you want to go that route. But a lot of people don't want to go the dojo route, right? They want to learn something a little bit quicker. They don't want to do the 4 years. They don't want to do the other things that come with that, right? Because the dojo is real. I mean, not saying anything else is real, but like I said, that is it's a grind when it comes to that.
Yeah, we used to be watching. We used to be looking and standing at the window. Like, ooh. Man, that brings back too many memories that make me think about the 80s all over again.
But that's what I'm saying. This is where a lot of this, like the people on this panel for our age, you understand exactly what I'm talking about when we used to walk around the city, right? Your head was always on the swivel. It was, if you got on the bus, it was, if you didn't, you learn quick, right? Cars pulled up, you was walking with your girl and you didn't have no car, they said something slick, either you was going to do something or not, right? So you learned a lot of lessons that a lot of people forgot in this era, right? On etiquette, on how to deal with things, right? Whether it's de-escalation, how to talk, how to move. Like I said, I grew up on we started on 29th and Melvina right there, moved to 26th and Ruby between Atkinson and Titonia, right? And we had to travel all over the city. I played warning, so you went everywhere on the bus, and then we walked.
That's right.
So you walking in the gang territory, you walking in this new people neighborhood. Who is that? What you looking at? And so you have to learn how to maneuver.
And all that's before you go to Desert Storm.
Right, exactly. And that's a skill set I think a lot of young people don't learn. They don't learn that.
Courtney, was you trying to say something? I don't know if you got cut off. I know.
Oh, I was when y'all kept talking about peeking.
I'm sorry if I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you fine. You kept talking about peeking in windows. It reminded me of whose song is that, Kev? Who's that peeking in my window?
In the window.
Nobody now.
Goody Mob. Yeah. Well, you got to understand, it was the 80s. Kung Fu, Black Belt Theater was popping. We was youngsters. That's what everybody wanted to see. And then we had an actual karate school in the hood where you could just walk up there and they be in the gis in there doing class. Yeah, kicking and shit and fighting each other. I'm telling you, we used to be looking at the shit. So yeah, it'd be about 8 of us out there looking. And the good thing is them dudes never came to the door like, hey, get away from the window. Come in and join or leave. I know they could see us all out there looking. So yeah, you're right. That was a Goody Mob song, though. I don't know what the connection is to me watching Kung Fu.
You was peeking in the window, and then somebody else was peeking in the window, then pow. So the connection of peeking in windows. Sorry.
I know you kind of reaching on that one.
Sorry.
I don't know. I'm not. Anybody else feeling that one from Courtney? Y'all
I
chime
know
in.
what
Let me
she's
know.
saying.
They saw where I was going with it, Kev.
You
Don't be
keep it in
trying
the
to,
window and you get ready to get this fired, right?
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, not if
trying
you're
to
looking
knock
at
me,
Kimpu
Kev.
Cujo.
You be hating, man. You be hating. It's okay.
Real said, I will add more to it before I take it back. Dion said, what's his information? Dion, his information is on the bottom of the screen because he has a website, and you can go to the website, which is epusds.com for anybody tuning in.
Yep.
This is my brother Fletch of EPU Personal Defense, and we're talking about
But we can register on the
defending
website
yourself.
for these classes.
You can register on the website. You can call me, sign up. Same, it's a location. With same thing. If you go to the website, you put your contact information in. It's gonna come back to me anyway.
Okay.
I'm old school, so I just say give me a call. Right. That's why I put the number and sign it up. Right.
Yeah, old dudes like page me. Right?
Beeper, right? Beeper.
She's Cuzzo asked, what's the youngest age you take them in the kids classes?
So for the kids, as far as physical, the physical class, I always would say 12.
Okay.
I said anything under 12, I really recommend that they go to Kempo Goju, right? To get the background and the discipline. Because like I said, the self-defense part, I have a course for kids, but it's not like what I would show you after 12. 12 and under, you can only do so much, right? Laws, teaching kids how to do this, but still showing them something, right? So for right now, for mine is 12 and up.
So that answers Chantel and Mariah's question on what age can children start. And I think
no. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong when I say they can start. So K1, 3, 5th, 6th, those grades, I got programs for them, but it's going to be different than the 12 on up class. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying on that. The from the 12 below, it's mostly showing you, giving you information. Because like I said, you don't want your kids to get snatched. They just need to be aware. They need to know different things. They need to build that up, right? Because you don't want to show little kids how to do certain things without the training that goes along with it, right?
You've been got sued.
That's why I say we recommend them. They get more classroom training, and then if they want to know physical, you put them in the martial arts to get them structured. Once they understand the structure, because you know how you're gonna be fighting each other, and then somebody's gonna say, "Well, you showed my baby how to do this, and he did this on such and such," right? But for right now, once they get that structure and get the discipline, then they can come on in. Right.
I was thinking, especially for youngsters, because I coach Pee-wee football, and what I knew is that they couldn't execute physically some of the things that my varsity high school players could do, right?
Right.
And so what I would teach them mostly is how to use their bodies, like to be physical.
Right.
Like you ain't strong, but you can learn stance, and you can learn technique, and you can learn how to be aggressive. But I'm not expecting you to be busting swim moves and jumping over people. You're a little kid. That's why kids, Pee-wee League athletics mostly looks horrible when you go look at it, because they're not physically prepared to really execute, but you can teach them how to compete and be physically aware of themselves. So, I think that's a good place for kids to start. I don't know if that's what martial arts teaches them. Now, let me ask you another question. What did you officially train in Kempo, or did you take it on later? So when did you start?
So I started late. I started after I got back from Desert Storm, right?
Okay.
My journey, like I said, I got a really crazy journey. My journey started when I came back because I got tired of going to the gym, right? I got tired of lifting weights. I get tired of doing something physical, but I wanted to do something different. Like you said, watching the Kung Fu movies, I always wanted, and I seen this place was here forever. Never just went in there. So right before I got married, I said, I'm coming in. I said, I'm going to go get married, and then I'm going to come back. And that's what I did. And when I had my daughters, it just seemed like I kept having girls. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to be right when they get older. And
Yeah.
I'm about to show them when they get older.
Yeah.
But Kippo Goju probably was the hardest, most physicalist thing I did, even compared to the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you are a black belt in that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And you know, some of these dudes have made this kind of comedic for, like, you see the dude, I don't know where he's from, but he was coming on like showing people supposedly how to disarm somebody, and it's like, dude, you'll get killed trying the shit he just
Yeah,
tried.
trash.
Right.
Trash, super. And the thing about it is, that's like that clickbait, meaning I'm gonna get my whatever he was doing for his views, right?
Right. Yeah. I
But
took it as
people,
comedy.
right? If people was believing it and getting themselves killed trying to really pull that stuff off, right?
Wow.
It's trash. It's trash.
That's what I'm saying. Even Master Lee taught us some techniques on how to take a knife and stuff like that. And some of it, if in the right spot with the right timing, you could do it. But overall, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it to try and snatch a pistol out somebody's hand. Let me rephrase that, because depending if you're in this situation, depending on how you are positioned, it might be wise to snatch the pistol or at least wrestle for it, because you might have somebody whose really intention is to pull the trigger. And so I would say it's based on the spacing you have and you know how you position. So, but yeah, they made it a joke, and then we all know Dragonfly Jones on Martin,
Right.
and shit like that. And so people think that's a joke to say, no, man, I'm taking self-defense, but they don't understand until now. I want to ask you this: Did you all teach this wrist lock? Because
yeah, so wrist lock is in the keto. With wrist locks, I know where you're going. You are never going to just grab somebody and get those off. It's always a technique to it, right? You just don't. Nobody's going to let you or give you their wrist like that to do that without some type of distraction or some type of other thing being done, right?
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying about certain things. Like if somebody grabs you by the wrist, like I'm grabbing you to pull you off somewhere. There's certain things you can do because now you're holding on to me, right? But that's where I think it turns where some people get the comedy, because some unbelievable things they don't understand, that they don't work like that, right? And they see it work for the movie's sake or whatever's sake, but in real life, nobody's going to let you do that. Nobody's going to just sit there and let you get those off without doing something else.
So I took, when I worked at St. Charles, we had to always get certified in MAB, managing aggressive behavior, right? And the first thing that they taught us, that was the great shutdown of any conflict, is getting in position, getting that wrist, and getting it behind their back like this. And I'm not gonna lie, I pulled this off a couple times flawlessly on some dudes fighting, or some dudes, going that's out of control, like boop. If you catch them right, because before they know it, they'll be like this.
Right.
And it's like,
but you remember you had that in your arsenal. And I'm sure you practiced it. I'm sure you practiced. I'm sure it wasn't just like I just seen it one time and now I can go out there and do it. Right. I'm sure you had it to where, okay, let me get these scenarios. And then the people who you did it to never expected that was coming too. Right. That's what I'm saying. What people don't understand is that when you get taught something or they see something, it's 100 things behind it. Right.
Okay.
It's 100 things behind it.
I'm thinking, wouldn't this be a dope date night for couples? Like,
it would be.
Let's go. Like, so if you had some sort of special where you could say, hey man, you want to, have a really good day with your girl and you physical, and come on in, you pay us $35, $40 for a night, and you come in here, and I would think that would be dope, right? You don't go too hard on your girl or whatever. Don't go in there and try to get your ass whooped by the sensei. I'm just saying, go in there and have some fun with it and be physical. Learn some techniques. I do want to ask you, when I come in and I say I'm ready to start learning personal self-defense, what's the first, after we get past the mental part of it, what's the first thing you teach in physical? You teaching how to throw a punch? You teaching how to kick? What do you?
Distance. The first thing we telling you, the first thing that we're going to show you is that first of all, it's the first thing we're going to show you is a 3-foot rule. It's a space rule, right? Just like with COVID. Most people will let people walk up on them, right? 3 feet is the limit and what we teach, right? 3 feet, them hands go up. Meaning, hey, boom. I don't want no problems. Because what happens is people start filming. The person over there is talking, especially if you say he want to do something to you. Now, this is a different confrontation. But most of what I'm saying is that when something, so say you at a restaurant, guy bump into a guy, he's with his girl. Now he's showing out for his girl. I don't want no problems. My bad, bro. Whatever. But he ain't hearing it. Everybody's now they watching, like, seeing what you gonna do, what he gonna do, right? When you throw your hands up, you already getting ready for whatever right there. That's what a lot of people don't understand. When you put your hands up, you already in your stance, as you say, right? Because from this point, that's where we showing you right now you can do all kind of stuff. Because the other person mentally now is thinking that thinking he got you. You're a little bit weaker. So I'm walking him down mentally by saying, I don't want no problems. But really, my hands is already up, waiting for you to cross this line right here, right? Legally, I'm looking like, I don't want no problems. They all got all these witnesses saying, he didn't do nothing. He didn't want no problem. But the other guy thinking, boom. So once the person come in, it's the who wrong who rule. He comes to you. You don't let him, to me personally, you don't let him strike you first. You do just enough to get him up off you and get out of there.
Okay. I agree on the distance, and that's what I'm saying. Like it is, but the mental aspect of it too is the greatest victories in fights that I've seen and that I've had is when I was cool, calm, and collective under pressure.
Exactly.
When the other person was "Arr!" and I was like, all right, fuck around, find out.
That's what I'm saying right there. But most people, when you say that, have they been pressure tested to be like that?
This
right?
This is true.
Most people in their brains is like, I got to match this person's energy, or I got to do something just as aggressive as he is or she is in order for them to back down or whatever. Now that's where you have a fight, right? That's what we don't want. We don't want to fight. I don't want to fight nobody. I'm getting too old. I don't want to fight nobody. Only fight I'm doing in the dojo, but I don't want to physically go out here and fight nobody, right?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So if we get into an altercation, it's not going to be a fight. It may be a fight on your end, but I'm not fighting you, right?
But that's saying a lot, though. That's kind of like passive aggressive. Like, I'm not fighting you, but you wink in your eye because you knowing that you're gonna do 2 moves and knee me in my nuts and then elbow me in the back of the head, and then you're gonna be like, see, I didn't want to fight.
But here's the thing with that too. That's where we go into what a lot of people don't train is the law, verbiage, right?
Okay.
Who did what? Because another thing that I offer is I print out the Wisconsin state law on self-defense, right? And how the senseis taught us was a reasonable person. So at all times, if you're defending yourself, you have to be or seem like you're that reasonable person to be privileged to even use this law. Okay. Once you step out that boundary of a reasonable person, then all bets are off, right?
Yeah, that's why I never understood all.
If that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I've never understood the peacocking before fights. I've never understood the, oh my mama, like I've always been like, man, dude ain't. And most of the time, the dude who's doing all that ain't gonna do shit. Or I've seen him also fuck around, get his ass whooped because he goes too far. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you know what? Now I'm just gonna give you one on GP. And so I've seen that play out. But I also, like I said, it's almost like in any physical activity, the mental part of it is the greatest part.
Correct.
Right. I used to tell football players this all the time when I coach. 85% of this is mental. And you think it's physical. You think, oh, he's big, he's strong, he's fast. I done seen, we call him build like Tarzan, play like Jane. I done seen dudes who can bench press 500 pounds, 6'7", 340. He's soft as a marshmallow, right? He's not going to do shit. So, but the mental part of it is so the person who said, no, I got it on. I got it turned on. I'm going. I'm going until it's over. That's a mental thing. So, and then you develop strength and all that other stuff around that to become a more complete weapon, I would say. My cousin Mariah says she says she elbowed a lady in her space. She said she didn't mean to. It was just my reaction due to her moving too fast towards me.
But that was a good move. But as a reasonable, I'm always leave you with this as a reasonable. This is one biggest thing I'm going to say from my experience with the police altercation. Because sometimes you have an altercation, there is no police, so you ain't got to explain nothing to nobody. You just got to get out there safe, right? You got to get out from wherever you're at safe. But if there are police involved, if it's some type of legal anything involved, what you say and do matters, right?
Okay.
Even based on when you're talking and whatever. Once you step out that line of what would a reasonable person do? Like, this is the information that I give the clients that I'm going to be doing my seminars on, because that's the part. Even when you take public safety, nobody really wants to focus on that. What do you say to the police if they show up, and how are you acting compared to how is this person acting? And a lot of people will say, well, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. You're right. But it gives your lawyer something to work with if you let them do all the talking and you are the more reasonable person. It may not benefit at that moment, and that's where it don't feel good at, right in that moment.
Okay.
Like I'm getting screwed over. But, F that, blah, 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 right? Who is the reasonable person when it comes to somebody suing you, do whatever? You defending yourself, the person hits their head. Oh, police show up, person knocked out. Well, that guy was assaulting me. He's knocked out. He looks like the assaulter, right? Or somebody shorter, or like you say, black or whatever. Police gonna run up to whatever. You start talking, you start saying this, boom. You already incriminated yourself, right?
Hey, I feel like what you're saying is your intent has to be right.
Your intent has to,
especially when you're explaining what you just did to the authorities.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Your intent had to been right. I'm just trying to get them up off me. I didn't want no trouble.
That's what
protecting myself. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So your intent has to be right.
My life is in, I feel like my life is in danger.
But you know how we, right? You know how we do. What happened? Oh, this motherfucker, blah, blah, X, Y, Z, Right. Oh, okay. That in the minds of the police or whoever's going to be there, you wrong and you wrong. Now it's just two dudes fighting. Right. Two dudes, whatever. And you don't want that.
Right.
Yeah, and the dude who can put hands on somebody's ass like that and then really calm down and be cool afterwards is scary as shit. When he say, people coming like, what happened? Look, man, I told this dude, man, I just kept telling him to leave me alone, and he wouldn't. So and the dude is laying there asleep. It's like something wrong with that motherfucker. He supposed to be worked up or something. He cool, like I didn't want to have to do that. Like what the fuck?
Exactly.
Major pain. Cuz said she felt bad after she did it. You know what? If you invade my physical space, you get what you get, right? Like I don't like people standing behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not. If you like behind me and you really close, I don't. That's what started making me not want to go out to clubs no more, because I don't like people crowded in around me. Just because I don't trust people, right? Because you don't never know what's gonna happen. And so, like, even if I go to like a basketball game at the stadium, at the Buck Stadium or something, I get annoyed because I'm like, I don't like all these people around me. So just keeping that distance that you say is, and if I'm in the street and I'm seeing some brothers coming towards me, I'm judging what their intent is, as Kamar said, by how they're closing the distance.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody who don't mean you no harm is not going to close the distance on you, right? They're not going to immediately put themselves up against you, because if they're friends, they'll move in slowly and then whatever. But if it's somebody walking towards you, you don't know them, and they making a beeline towards you, you need to say, "Oh, hold on, man. Do I know you?" or something like that before they get right up on you. So, yeah, I've never don't be all up on me, man. Hey, look, let me get up. I'd give up my seat in the club. Like, here, all these dudes behind me with bottles and shit in their hands. Let me get up, get my back against the wall where I can see a door or something.
I'm gonna say one more thing too. That's another killer. this bad boy right here.
Oh yeah.
This bad boy right here will get you killed, will get you robbed, will get your stuff took. Every place I go, I'm walking out the store. They get the phones like this. They get the head like this. Young folks, whatever, are coming out the car. I be on my daughters about that. Put that phone out, look around, look wherever, right? That right there, to me, is one of the number one killers out here, is being on them phones.
Yeah.
When you ain't supposed to be. Maybe I'm old school like that.
No, you right.
You know, because you get distracted. I got a bag full of groceries. She walking out the thing. Who look more, if you're a hunter, who looks more like better prey? Somebody already looking around or somebody on their phone, distracted or doing whatever at the gas station.
Purse
right?
hanging off her shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that people, or public safety, people don't really, how I want to put it, they don't really think about stuff like that.
Okay.
Disney, I took my daughters to Disney for dance. That was the worst. And because it's me, I'm built different. That the storm made me different. That was the worst, experience for me in the long time. Because when I went there, I knew I was a different type dude. Because everybody was having fun, but I really couldn't see it. It was just too many people. Too much stuff was going on all at once, and it was chaos.
That's sensory overload.
Exactly. That's all I could feel was chaos, bro.
And so, okay, so let me go back a little bit more, because I want people to understand that you have some official training. We talked about the Kempu. We talked about coming from Milwaukee at a time when hands meant almost everything. So your military training, you Army, Marines, where were you?
So basically, I went in as a medic. You wasn't gonna fool me. When I joined right up there when it was on Capitol at the recruiter station. When they used to have it right on Capitol. I came in as a medic, combat medic. So basically, I was already trained to run to where the danger was or is. I did my basic in Fort Jackson, went to Fort Sam Houston for my medical on being a medic. And then from there, flew over to London. I mean, not London, flew over to Germany, Gelhausen, Germany. From Gelhausen, Germany, I was with the 3rd Armored Division, M1 Abrams tanks, right? Big tanker units. From there, that's when they got an order that we're going to send you boys, which y'all been training to be in the woods. Now we're going to throw y'all in the desert. So that's when we went to Desert Storm. We was the first ones there, Bahrain, all those, right? Did my little tour there, came back with the Fort Hood, killer hood. I didn't know Fort Hood was that killerish. Back in the day it was. And I watched the news and people still was getting murked at Fort Hood. I just don't understand it. But Fort Hood was like a mini Milwaukee to me. I'm telling you right now. It was. Because, and the reason why I say that is because when you went off the base, they told you not to go to certain towns. But Fort Hood basically was Killeen, Texas. And the civilians there hated the soldiers. So they'll mess up your car, they'll key your car. You know, you with your, if they caught you by yourself, oh, it was on. So it was just like basically back to Milwaukee to me. From Fort Hood, went to Fort Meade on the East Coast, in DC, went up there, did a stint in New York, and then made my way back to the mill.
And what year did you get back? 93, 92?
92.
Worse.
I was up in New York when FUBU was first just selling hats and the t-shirts.
Okay.
And the tunnel was bumping, all that stuff.
Because 92 in Milwaukee was a son of a bitch. That was the year that they set the homicide record, and all of a sudden liquor stores had to start closing at 9 and bars had to start closing at 2:30. Like the whole city got regulated because the murder record they've smashed it now. But that was like one of the pinnacle years of the crack epidemic. 92, I say from 92 to 96 is your peak years in Milwaukee when it's going crazy. Like where it's just like, dude, what the hell? But yeah, 92 in Milwaukee was a motherfucker.
Do you believe we had a lot of outsiders coming in too?
Yeah, well, Chicago, people from Chicago.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, outsider like a mother. I'm from the city, motherfucker. Like what? Come on. Sean Mo, what it do, man? What's happening?
What's happening, family? What's happening?
Ain't nothing to
What's
it.
happening, Real? What's happening, Doctor? Hey, Juice Lady.
Hey, Sean.
What's happening, Whisperer?
What's going on,
you
bro?
yelling tonight.
I'm always yelling. You used that joke on me last week, Sean.
It wasn't a joke.
Oh, okay.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
Okay.
What's going on, brother?
Ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it.
What's all that about, man?
What's up now? What's up now?
What's going on, Sean? You got a question for my brother, or what? Or comment, something? I know you done been in some combat, some fisticuffs. What did you want to add to the conversation on?
Oh, I don't even know what we talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of pretty much sums it up for you then.
What we talking about? I heard something about the 90s.
Well, no, we got our sponsor on here tonight, brother Fletch, who is the proprietor of the EPU personal defense system. Right, actually, ironically, in the hood at the Kempu Goju on Atkinson, that's been there as long as I was knee high to a flea.
Oh
yeah. So he has a course.
Jerry used to go up there.
Who?
Jerry.
Yep, Jerry. I know Jerry. Yep, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yep, Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry was one that they Sensei Warren, if I can remember right, caught them in one of the brawls. Brought the two guys to the gym, if I can get the story correct, to where they could fight correctly. Jerry got the best of them there, and from there he just went on and joined Kempo Goju, and then was Muay Thai master, champion all over.
Yeah.
Until he went down to Texas. He was getting ready to start his own school. That dude kicked me so hard before my black belt test one time. A big hematome on my leg. I was like, man. So I don't take nobody what size they are for granted. Nobody.
Why was he
Jerry wasn't a big dude, so
okay,
but he was a killer.
Yeah, Jerry's on my side.
Yeah.
Damn, he was little.
Wow.
He was small, right?
Right.
Lord
wow.
Mercy.
That's what we doing, huh?
Come on, Sean, I had to fuck with you, man. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I see Courtney just loving herself right
Shit
now.
was funny. It was mad funny. The timing was impeccable. Come on, Sam. Stop hating. Listen, Mama Jenkins said Fort Hood is in the heart of Killeen, Texas, Hood Nation. And I don't think she talking about the Klansmen, ain't she?
It was deep down there. It was deep.
Okay. Marcel Williams, he said a lot of city people infiltrated Milwaukee. I didn't see, a lot of Detroit and Chicago. Other dudes from other cities may have came here, but they didn't really. A lot of them went back to where they came from after a couple months. Chicago dudes, because it's I got so much family that lived in Chicago. We all do. We're all connected. Chicago people and people in Milwaukee have this Mississippi connection. If you ever listen to dudes from Chicago talk, they sound like they're in the country, because a lot of them we're all like closely knit. So Chicago is easy because you come up here to stay with your auntie, or you move up here with your grandmother or whatever, and you live here, but you from Chi. So Chicago stuck more than other places. And people say, there was already them coming up here to get the food stamps and the welfare checks. So, Chicago dudes brought a different attitude in terms of aggression to the city. They was way more over the top. Chicago is, a more aggressive city. So they brought kind of like a mentality where now you really got to be like, hey, y'all better be ready for this action, man, because it's coming. And like I said, I went to the Palace when I was about 7, 8 years old, and watched them dudes brawl. I'm talking about, and that was y'all generation, Fletch. That was Sean, them. That was y'all. I mean, these dudes.
That was funny. Us fighting, shit.
Man, roller skates.
And here's another thing too. I'm glad you mentioned the Palace. Back in the day in the Palace, if you went to them all-nighters, you couldn't fall asleep. You could not. I knew people that was falling asleep and they was throwing them skates over them blockers, right? to get clocked. You fell asleep at an all-night, it was a done deal, right? It was a done deal.
Yeah, you was gonna wake up bruised and battered.
You think about the concept of now putting a bunch of young people in the building and saying, Y'all can skate all night, and the music gonna play. That shit might last 2 hours. They had the lock-ins here, so I guess people say, Kev, you don't know. I don't know. I didn't go to none of the lockouts.
I've been to a lock-in in my teenage years, and it was popping all night.
Okay.
And it actually was, but like I said, it was always a few that was just waiting because everybody was there for the competitions.
Right. Yeah. And or they was there to steal some shit while y'all was skating. They was going in them damn lockers. Sean, all you and your guys and shit.
No, we wasn't going no lockers.
You just taking it out their pocket.
We had to go in lockers.
Right, you just taking it out their pocket.
Yeah, we had to go in lockers.
I mean, that give a person all
yeah,
night.
like
Unless you taking it right before y'all finna get out. Because if you take it early in the night, then I've realized my stuff gone. I got all night.
Sean them didn't care. They didn't care if you knew. They wanted you to know. And they was waiting on you to do something. They can take some more shit. Dion, what it do, man?
Man, I ain't heard from you niggas none of this. Oh, yeah, I think I did call the New Year. What's happening, man? What's happening, Dion? Man, I want bro to teach me how to be able to take a gun from a nigga ass. I want to disarm a nigga, take that pistol out of his ass and whoop his ass with his own pistol or blow his motherfucking brains out. You know, I beat that murder though, you know, because he upped the gun on me. I just wrestled the gun away from him.
Okay.
Hey, do he got classes on the weekend? Because you know I work Monday through Friday.
Basically, it's what it is. It's my class gonna be on Saturday mornings up at the Action Dojo from 9 to 10:30.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. Man, Kev, I'm gonna have to inbox you, man, to get his info, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all long because I got my girl on the other end. You know what I'm saying? She on hold. I had to call y'all, man. I ain't fucking y'all in a minute though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to get out here because you know I can throw the hands though, but it's a difference when you got a technique behind it. You know, my technique is just trying to get a nigga out the way though. You know, I kick a nigga in his nuts and headbutt him, fight him in the face. I use everything though. I'm 280-some pounds, so I'm gonna work his ass though. I used to box at the King Center back in the days.
Okay.
You know, it's a difference. It's a difference when you learning how to defend yourself than attack. See, I want to know how to attack. I don't want to be at a defense and the motherfucker, you know, if he attack me, I want to be at, okay, I see this motherfucker, analyze his weaknesses and shit, and you know what I'm saying, work him over real quick. He's trying to, you know, these niggas pants be sagging and shit. He's trying to pull his gun out. I got his gun. Like, nigga, I'll blow your motherfucking brains out. He turn around and run, and I try to air his ass out. Nah, I ain't gonna do that, though. But you know what I'm saying? I get his gun, though. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Courtney, don't even, man, bro, on the real, though, I shouldn't even be on the phone with her, bro. On my mama, bro. No, I'm just fucking with you, though. Happy New Year, Courtney. But yeah, though, Happy New Year to all y'all, man. I love you niggas, man. Hey, Kev, I'm going to inbox you for bro information. I definitely would like to get up and to just learn me some more skills. You know, I'm getting old, man. I'm 46 years old now, man. I can't move as fast as I can. I hit hard, though, but I can't move as fast as I used to, so I just want to be able to defend myself. You know, that's all, man, and stay peaceful, because I'm a felon. You know, hey, Kev, I might ask you a favor of you, man. I know you don't know me personally, but you know a little bit of me, because I'm going to be applying for my pardon again, man, and maybe you can write me a letter of recommendation. You know, just, you know, I give you my whole name. You can do my background. You know, I got a little delivery case from back in 2000. You know, just try to, you know, just help a brother out, man. You know, nigga ain't ask you for no money or nothing like that. You know, that's a little, a little letter, you know. Like, hey, man, you know, I know this guy, you know, I don't know about his background. I don't know that Dion, but this gentleman right here, you know, he go to work every day. He's hard. He's outstanding citizen, you know, things like that. You know, just a little help, man. That's all, man. But I'm going to hang up and finish listening to you guys, man. I love you niggas, man. Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? We going to keep going around this motherfucker, though. You know what I'm saying? Love, bro. I'm gone.
All right, Dion. All right.
Yeah. Kev, I thought he was gonna ask you to buy a gun for a minute. You know, he was like, I know you don't know.
He wouldn't dare do that on the air. Like, come on. Okay. When you want it, right? Like, yeah. No, actually, to what he was saying, I have written in my experience several of these letters for people, and I'm not just saying that being on my own, even though I am. Kamara always say, no, sweat yourself. But I've written these letters for people, so it's not a problem, Dion. I mean, I've had brothers reach out to me and say, Kev, can you write this for me? And I've done it. I've done it for some sisters too. So yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Well, I got favor. I got a favor to ask. I'm trying to get my part.
The answer is no.
Letters.
For you, it's no. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Sean. I'm just kidding. He ain't laughing at all. Like,
no, not at all. I'm gonna need 8 letters of regulation.
I don't do 8. I'll do 1, right? And then so you could copy it and change it.
Copy them. You just copy and paste them. You just copy them.
See, all that what you talking about doing requires a fee. Like if you just gonna have me write a letter for you and submit it to you, that's cool. But I'm copying and pasting and creating a document. No, I'm not. That's extra shit. I get paid to do shit like that in real time. Sharon Evans said, she said Von L. Mays does it. Yeah, him and Jazz. I seen him and Jazz do it. As a matter of fact, I thought they were working together. They've been done around the country. I guess my point was it's difficult now to just let random kids in. And I think now, yeah, if you announce it and certain kids come, you say, nah, you can't come in. But back then, it was like, hey, it's open. Everybody from whatever, Port Washington, from Capitol, from whatever street you was from, they mobbed there. It was a big thing. It was a skating rink. And so, yeah.
We used to do the lock-ins at the Y before skating, way before skating.
Okay.
At the YW, at the YWCAs, the ones down 12th Street, Tatonia. So, it's, I mean, shit. It ain't nothing new. If it works, it works. Shit. More power to them.
No, I know. This is all in. let's get this straight. This is all in reference to me making a comment about the lock-ins at the Palace. So let's just. I don't want you to say they talking about you on. Y'all know how people are. They said you ain't shit.
Candyman.
Right. Candy said you ain't shit for your lock-ins. Fuck your lock-ins. Next thing you know, it's like, oh Lord. Man, there's some shit starters in this city, man. I see you sneak listening. All y'all sneak listeners. I see y'all sneak listening. Deacon Mikey Davis in the chat room. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? Family.
I keep being in the chat room.
Well, he was just live on your shit. Now don't nobody care about him being in the chat room.
Yeah, that's right. What's up, Mikey?
Milwaukee dudes, man. This is why you need to learn personal self-defense, right? Marcel Williams said, are y'all familiar with the Disco Players skating team? I'm not familiar with the Disco. Yeah, that's it seemed like it's Jerry Curls involved with that.
I will say this about the Palace. The Palace was a place where everybody, and we don't have nothing like that now. Everybody went there. You know what? You had crews, you had groups, you had had something for the kids to do. You had something for even people in the gangs. They went to watch the girls or to watch the crews or to watch with something. But it was a central place where everybody was like, if you could get there and compete, I mean, it's like it was like kind of like that movie, that one movie they had. Everybody, you went there.
ATL, yeah.
Right. But right now, there is like the kids really don't have nothing like that. I mean, where can they go if they had any talent? Where could they go to basically showcase it? You know what I mean?
Black Chamber of Commerce is building out their entertainment center right now. It should be open and taken by the summer. So it will have a skating rink. It will have laser tag. It will have a little small space for concerts, small entertainment. It will have some bowling lanes. To have a upstairs where you can look down on people, a looking deck. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
For the city.
Observation deck? She said
observation deck. Yeah, it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be all right. Just hold on. Did I say Kev was hating tonight? Kev and Sean hating.
My bad. Sean influencing me to do shit like that. It's his fault.
See.
Right. But listen, no, so no, you're right though about the Palace and like you said, because I'm telling you, I was little. 7, 8 years old. I was up in there, but I went to play the video games because I couldn't skate. I had to be in the middle, right? Like if you couldn't skate, you had to be in the middle around the DJ booth. So when I run out of quarters, then I'm just gonna go in the middle and hold the wall because they're gonna play some jam on it or something, or some rap song you don't get to hear every day. And like you said, it's skating crews and breakdance crews and rap crews that's gonna battle. So the shit actually was really cinematic. I wish people could reflect upon that time though in Milwaukee because you had places to go, like Sean was talking about, going to the Y. I be going to Bonanza to ride go-karts. Like, you know, you going, it's carnivals popping up everywhere. Greek Fest. Can't even have Greek Fest no more because they got the whooping too much. And so people don't have those carnivals, the ghetto carnival just pop up. But they got a big ass Ferris wheel. It was super unsafe. I don't know how God was truly with us to go on some of them rides. It was not safe. I don't know how we survived. But yeah, the kids just don't have anywhere to go. But I will say this, if you're a parent and your kid has a talent, be proactive, right? Don't be reactive, because there are places for them to go, right? Like, because there's dance. If you got a little girl who loves to dance, there's dance, and this is run by sisters. There's dance programs where they teach all the way from the little girls all the way up to the older sisters who doing the Alvin Ailey and now the thing that they do DD for L dancing dolls type stuff. So it's places in this city that do that. You just got to find them now. It ain't like back, because my parents didn't find the palace. We found the palace. You know what I'm saying? They just said, Mama, we bored. Well, get up off your ass and go find something to do. What you sitting there telling me for? So, you know, that's how you ended up in the top of a tree in Lincoln Park somewhere. Like, damn, how am I get down? But yeah, so the city has changed in that regard. And I was going to say, for young people, we always looking for ways to mentor young brothers. Have you thought about a way to really start programs for some of our young brothers? Because I think a lot of the gunplay is due to the fact that they really don't have hands.
So I have a bunch of ideas, sir. Okay. Right now, what I'm trying to do is get in front of the people that can make it happen.
Okay.
Because without
anybody
no money
out there,
because without no money, it's still a wish.
A wish,
right. So as far as for the programs, you know, I got like Prince said, I got a bunch of them written down. But I just got to get in front of the right people to get the grants, to get the monies, to get the mentorship. Because like you said before, if they have something to do or another way, at least they have options, right?
Right. So the connection is Courtney. Courtney runs the village. Courtney runs the village, and she does a lot of trainings with young men. And I was thinking maybe that if you could even connect with her and go into some of her.
I definitely connect
and speak to them about.
That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for.
Look at connections. Look at him throwing the rebound after doing all that hating.
Hello? I'm a fucking genius. What are you talking about? You're just not realizing it. Come on.
At this phase of my life, and like I said, everything, it's just a lot of experience that if people like your story, if somebody was to hear it, you never know how it's effective. Like when I was first watching Outlaw Radio, I was like, oh, damn, who is this? First of all, the logo was dope. That's why I said I had to get one of them shirts. Remember, I kept hitting you up, where that merch at?
Right.
And I started hearing what y'all say. I'm like, how come ain't no other radio stations, like this? That's when then I asked you why you didn't get the 101.7 spot, right? How you what happened with that? Okay, cool. But it's a lot of stuff out here, the more you dive into it. But like I was saying, it's a lot of experience that people have and stories that if these young men and women heard, they probably could relate to, even though it's a different time and day, but the process is still the same. I had a problem, I worked that shit out, and I worked my way up no matter what.
And I think a lot of people will be surprised that a lot of these younger brothers, they're looking, especially if they don't have guidance, they really looking for something, but they want to be affiliated with a real one. Like, and they can see through bullshit. So if you trying to talk to them and you flaky or you fluky, like you because as people say, I grew up on Burlock, that don't mean you came outside. A lot of motherfuckers sitting in the house looking out the window.
Exactly.
Right. You don't mean your grandmama like, get your ass out in this house. You couldn't go outside, right? You didn't jump off the porch. So I think a lot of young men respond better when they can hear it in the bass in your voice when you say, look here, man, and you start explaining it to them. It does resonate with them. But I think they just because we wasn't going to listen to no fluke. Like, we'd have been like, man, get your ass out of here. But if a real bona fide stomp down OG came through, you knew, hey, man, you better listen to what dude's saying.
See, that's it right there. You know what I mean? People want to learn from somebody who done lived through what they teaching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That make a big difference, man. You can respect that.
Exactly. Because when I left here, I was like, I'm never coming back to Milwaukee. When breaking came out, and we was like, man, they don't never notice nobody from Milwaukee. Once I get a chance to leave, I was like, I'm out this beat. Then all of a sudden, here I come, full circle, right back in it. Right? How the hell I get back here? Never thought it through. But I will tell you this: when I was in the military and I was around with Fort Jackson, I was seasoned at 19 with grown adults and dudes my age. My mind was a lot faster than a lot of people that was older than me, just coming from Milwaukee, right? And every time I went out, you from Milwaukee, Laverne and Shirley, the five. That's
Happy
all
day.
they used to say. And then you have to let them have it. No, hold on, player. You mean Iceberg Slim? You mean this, that, and this? You mean this, that, and the other thing? You know, I'm not saying whatever, but you have to let them know that it was some other culture here too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to say. If you know, do the travels and like what you just said, we gotta tell our stories. We gotta tell our stories.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you wholeheartedly because when I left the city and went to school, people say, where you from? Because I had gold in my mouth, so they thought I was from down south. So they're like, you know, where your big Mike Tyson looking ass from? And I'm like, I'm Milwaukee. And they would say, get the fuck out of here. You ain't from Milwaukee. I was like, what are you talking about? It's black people in Milwaukee. I'm like, you want to see some black people? Come home with me. I'll show you some black people. And people would be surprised. But like you said, then it would come, well, I'm going to test this dude because he's from Milwaukee. Some dudes got fired in their shit behind that and checked in front of their girls. Like, hold on, man, this ain't that. You gotta beg. You gotta move around with that shit. You better try somebody from Ohio or something. I'm not. Shout out to you if you're from Ohio. I did want to say this. What you said about the 101 point thing. WNOV right now is doing a whole rebranding with all new shows, all new hosts, and that's sitting right on Capitol Drive, 2 blocks away from where I was born and raised at. Okay. Now, this is where Cat Williams resonates with me at. I agree with Cat when we start talking about gatekeepers and people who will steal your shit. Number one, they've heard it. They will steal your shit. And then people who will have attachments or hookups with certain groups. And so they get opportunities that other people should have. And then they prevent people who may be better than them from getting opportunities. So that's entirely true. We're not even just this little, you think Milwaukee ain't got no media scene. Well, the few microphones that is hooked to terrestrial radio here, I ain't gonna say what you got to do to get access to one of them, right? I ain't gonna say somebody had to do something strange for a little piece of change. I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that they may have had to do that, right? And if you got a show or if you got a platform and you saying, hey, well, if the shoe fits, buy a matching purse. I'm just saying, I know for a fact that with what we've done for 10 years now here on this show should be given an opportunity before some of the people who I've seen get put in place for platforms. And I say,
that's what I asked. That was the first thing I asked. That's one of the first thing I asked.
Right.
So, but now you explained it to me. So
it's that shit is real.
Hey, you know what?
We can definitely place Dr. King.
I dig that. I dig that, y'all. I feel like, you know what I mean? It's people who make it, people who bust through too without them motherfuckers.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So like we got to figure out what do we got to do, you know what I mean, to do that same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I never had a silver spoon in my mouth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? From the day I started hustling, I started hustling from the littlest. You know what I'm saying? Even with my business now, I tell y'all, I started out with a 1/4 ounce of sea moss powder, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So
I was right there buying too.
You know what I mean? So it's a grind. You know what I mean? And most people don't want to grind. They'd rather just know somebody. I'd rather just have a friend that help me out. You know what I mean? But the ones that really got to grind it out and really get it, you know what I mean? We got to get it. I feel like this, man. Them same motherfuckers that don't want to take a look at us for radio shows and shit like that, eventually a time gonna come where they gonna come looking for us, and then we got to make them pay.
Well,
that's how it works.
I agree with you on the grind part. I agree with you on the persistence part. But I'm going to tell you, anything you work for, that you develop into something that you become good at, you deserve opportunities. First of all, not one of these stations in this city can make me stop doing what I'm doing because of what they do. Let me say that, right? Because I'm going to do this anyways. It doesn't matter. That's what 10 years means. Right. all self-produced, all self amalgamated, all me, right? And my co-host too. I'm not saying that I don't need nobody. I'm just saying I've had 15 different co-hosts, right? We went from being on house phones with headsets on them to being on camera. It's been a whole development. I'm just saying I'm not going to be opposed to speaking out when somebody would say, "Okay, why you ain't?" And I would say, "Because these motherfuckers is on some bullshit." But that's not gonna stop me. It's not gonna stop me from grinding. And like you say, Kamar, it's more enjoyable when you do stay the course and you bust through on your own. But it's still important for you to say, this is what took so long.
Now it's payment.
I'm gonna say this is what took so long.
Yeah.
Right. So
look how much fun we having along the way. You know what I'm saying? Look how much fun we have along the way. All the people we get to meet. You know what I'm saying? Before we get to that point. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people forget to enjoy the journey.
Right. I don't enjoy bullshit.
Where they got to go. You know what I mean? It's so many joys in this. You know what I mean? There's so many blessings that's coming every day. Just going with what we doing. You know what I mean? With the work we done put in, like there's so many blessings. And I'm talking about all aspects of our lives. I ain't just talking about Outlaw Radio. You know what I'm saying? And this is with all of us. You know what I mean? Think back. That's just what it is.
Yeah, fuck them though. I just want to say that before we moved on.
I don't want to
mess up my. I don't want to mess up the show for my sponsor. I'm sorry, Fletch. I'm sorry, Fletch. I'm sorry.
Hey, one more thing. That's how you supposed to feel. You supposed
to feel
like family.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's all good.
And we supposed to feel like, yeah, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Because see, our minds should be set on doing it on our own any motherfucking way. So fuck them.
Shaquila Morrison is in the chat room. She said, "What it do, Big Kev? How you doing, my sister? We got John. We got Fletch here tonight from EPU Personal Defense. I said personal
self-defense. Yeah,
self-defense. Okay, and this is just so you can learn how to defend your shit. Mariah said, Naracha Qdar Shar. Why you say that? Naracha is cool, but I don't always understand what he's talking about. So sometimes I just skip the shit he's saying. For real, I'd be wanting to entertain it, but sometimes it'd be like, what the fuck is he talking about? So shout out to him. We'll get because he like, I'm calling. I'll be like, yeah, well, okay.
Hey, and you could tell the brother is smart, man.
Yeah,
he just, you know what I mean? It's like he has his moments. You know what I'm saying?
Well, first of all, he loves Courtney because he
do.
He love him some Courtney. Even if she ain't here, he be in the chat room like, where Courtney at? Like, we don't know. That's a whole grown woman. Where Courtney at? Mama Jenkins said they just approved $2 million on Beecher Street. Is this a development they got down there? What we talking about, Mama Jenkins? I'm not up on my shit today. I worked late. I wasn't on the wave today. So if y'all got some stories to fill me in with some info, please don't hesitate to share them. Let me see. Okay. What you say?
What's the wave that you weren't
on? You said what's the wave that I wasn't on? I'm not up. She said 2 million on Beecher Street. I'm not familiar with the story. He said Sean got Kev to drink the Kool-Aid.
It was the hater Kool-Aid when you was hating, and then you said Sean was the reason you was hating. You know,
I guess so.
Far back, Kev.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
All.
I drank what?
Yeah, right.
Exactly. The message is so far back, y'all don't remember. So
right. Marcel Williams, he said yes, Jerry Curls. They were one of the best skating teams in the world, and they was African American. I knew it was some activator involved if they was called the disco players. Disco players. Mariah Johnson says she believes that'll be a great space for our youth. Sharon Evans said J setting. Courtney, you always keep me up on the chat, so you got to keep me abreast.
So I'm talking about the entertainment center that the Wisconsin Black Chamber is creating. J setting, not sure what that means. It could be Jerry Curl setting. It could be Jed setting. I don't know.
Is that what it's called? The J setting?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. She said a skate park. I'm wondering why they didn't bust a move for Walmart. Midtown. Well, because I don't think people right now, the insurance liability for, I mean, you got to think about it like this. The lot at Walmart, where the store was vacant and the kids got together and the police was letting them kick it and they went to shooting. It's like, yeah, well, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Let me see Naracha. Let me see if I can rock with Naracha for a second. I don't want to totally freeze him out.
All
He
right.
says, I've been shot 3 times and I still got an 8-pack. Truthfully, I feel as though I will go out that way, but I want to say big ups to y'all in motion this year, Kevin and Sean. Okay. Yeah, congrats, man. I didn't know you were shot 8 times or 6 times, and I didn't know you didn't really care if you had an 8-pack, but that's cool, right?
Yeah, I don't care about the 8-pack or the 4-pack or none of that.
Look at these abs.
Yeah.
Marcel Williams said, I do want to teach a lot of our children martial arts, but it's so dangerous. I don't want to end up teaching them. Yeah, because you don't want some of these special ed kids to get a hold to some Ritalin and some martial arts. And whoop the teacher ass all up and down the hallway.
See, and that's
nunchuck.
and that's what I was talking about as far as who you teach and what ages. That's why I said programs, and then Kempo Goju martial arts, because they're gonna slow it down to where they're supposed to go.
Okay.
In the neighborhood. They ain't teaching killing techniques or nothing like that. They're just showing you the system and working your way up.
So you ain't how to rip a nigga throat out.
We ain't going there. We ain't going there with it.
Sharon Evans said, but would you want someone to censoring your content? You know what? I'm a firm believer in it ain't what you do, is how you do it, right? Yeah. I know how to communicate with my people, right? And I don't have to push the line with profanity. I don't have to be insulting. I don't have to do any of the above. All I have to do is articulate. So I'm not really worried about being censored. And when the time comes for me to say something that they don't agree with, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because I'm gonna deal with it. But I'm just saying, and I'm not crying in my drink, because like Kamar said, I've had a ball doing this shit and even caught a few coins here and there. Nothing major, but you can get your old pizza, old double Whopper meal or something, a bag of weed or something, a 4-pack of OE. I done caught a little twos and fews here and there. So I'm just saying it is time for a city like this that needs to, what Milwaukee really needs right now is to be made aware. Like Mama Jenkins is talking about a lot of different stuff that's going on in terms of the tax and where are we having this conversation amongst the people that it counts that, like Kamar stated, $10 is now 11, and that now you going and you saying, what? Wait a minute, let me run in the car and get some change, because this shit used to cost this, and it's because of this little punk ass petty tax, and this is going to end up billions of dollars in their pocket. I want to see where it's going to go. I got a funky feeling it ain't gonna come back to be invested in the infrastructure in our community.
I want us to raise our minimum wage, like everybody else. That's all I'm saying.
Something. I mean, you could, like we keep saying, you could have legalized weed, you wouldn't have to raise no taxes.
You know what I'm
saying? Thank you, my brother Marcel. He said you have an excellent show. I appreciate that, man.
You see that trash ass proposal though?
Which one this time?
So I think this is the one the Republicans behind, but it's saying that they was only talking about legalizing medical cannabis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it would be smokeless. So that means concentrates, salves, shit like that. And then you could only get it from one of the 5 state-ran dispensaries. So, so it's terrible. It's like, just go ahead, keep hitting up your plug.
Right.
That's probably how we start.
That's usually how it starts, Kamar. You right.
Nah, that's that.
Like, because remember, I was saying, the first they bringing this in the CBD. You know what I mean? And then, even in Minneapolis, it's legal in Minneapolis, in Minnesota now. It's just that you got to go. I think they called it, what is it, Red Stone or something like that, Minnesota. It's like you can only get it in a certain place in Minnesota.
See, my thing is,
you know what I mean, and it's gonna spread. I feel like
unless they doing some shit like Michigan, where it's recreational, anybody over 21 can grow up to 12 plants. Unless they come with some shit like that, they can keep it. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, I think that's the attitude anyways. Your ass drive through the city, it smell like the shit already legal. I be sitting in my car like, who smoking that shit? Whole family high. We just in the car sitting there like,
it makes you step on the gas to get home, especially when you come to work. You be like, oh, I got to get home, man.
So I do got a question. When you say medicinal, it'll only benefit the state. Recreational, it'll benefit small businesses as well.
Well,
is that the biggest difference what you're saying?
My thing is the tax revenue that's generated from it. Okay.
Okay.
And so if you got a city like Milwaukee where unemployment and poverty is high, especially for people of color, right? So you say, well, we need increased tax revenue to run the city efficiently. This was the justification for the tax hike, is that the city, for all intents and purposes, is going to go broke because we're not generating enough tax revenue. Well, you ain't going to generate enough tax revenue when 40% of the majority of the people, Black people are the majority minority in this city. 40% of them live below the poverty line. So no, you're not going to generate enough. And you taxing wheel tax, luxury tax, cigarette tax, stadium tax, and you got this goddamn shit that we didn't pay for. We thought we was going to be done paying for the stadium in 25 years. They still been taxing us for this shit. Right? So you're taxing poor people more and more. What you're trying to do is drive up their cost of living so they can leave and you can gentrify. Right? It's like Willie D said, you ain't fooling nobody. We know you bald-headed too. So what I'm saying is, if you legalize recreational marijuana and you open dispensaries and you attach an elevated tax like they've done everywhere it's legalized that, you're going to pay out your ass to go to Chicago and go in one of them dispensaries and get some Huda, right?
Yeah, you do a little bit.
And so that's going to generate billions of dollars in tax revenue where you can say, hey, we're short on police, get some more. Hey, you need more firefighters, get some more. You know, if it's all kinds of things you could do with that revenue. But the problem is the tax thing is only redeemable to the old money getters here. I keep saying Milwaukee is run by old money. All this Miller, Paps, all these Pfister and Vogel, all those white people families own more businesses and conglomerates than you think. That same old money is still running this city. This is why Abley can pull up on DC like, here you go, bro. It's 700,000. Here you go, little buddy, little buddy down, little buddy in the Regal. Here you go, it's 200,000. Right? He can do that. He got old money. We own parking lots downtown. Right? We own parking lots that cost $20 a car, and $40 during the Bucks game, and $75 during the NCAA tournament or a Marquette game. It's old money. It's old money. That's what I'm saying. So that's what Milwaukee is governed by. So they're very careful about, we can't really turn the spigot on, because what if one of them niggas gets the papers in order? They don't know about somebody like Real who's sitting with all kinds of certifications already and probably can walk through the paperwork and say, oh, we can open. God damn it. Fucking nigger. You know, who let his ass in?
Hey, or maybe they do know his niggas like that, and that's why they bullshit.
That's why they bullshit. Thank you, Kamar. Right. Thank you, Kamar.
Well, and Real, you said they were just trying to put state-owned dispensaries, just 5 of them?
So it's going to be 5. Well, they proposing 5 of them around Wisconsin. So first off, we don't know where the fuck they'd be. We probably have to travel to Eau Claire or some shit to get, and then it say smokeless. So these is vape cartridges, salves, edibles, no smoke. But like I was saying, like in Michigan and shit like that, they got medical. And the thing is, just because it's recreational and you can grow it, don't mean everybody want to grow. So that opens up another playing field to where if you become a licensed caregiver, you can grow up to 12 plants for yourself and up to 10 plants for 6 additional patients. And you get paid from state insurance and shit like that.
I look at weed like I look at the vegetables.
That's what's up.
I don't want no Monsanto vegetables. I don't want no factory processed weed. I tell my doctor, no, y'all just give me a voucher. I go to the homie who live down the street because he be having that fire. So I'm gonna get my weed from him. Right? I'm not,
all batch, handcrafted.
Yeah,
gourmet. You don't want that
other shit. I love Outlaw Radio raw and uncut. Thank you. And it wouldn't stop. That wouldn't stop Outlaw Radio. But I'm just saying. I want to sound like the bitter, I'm just saying, like, people be sneak listening and shit. And I see a lot of people copying some shit that we do. It's been a couple platforms where we had a conversation about something on a Tuesday, and Wednesday they shit was verbatim. And I'm like, great minds don't think that much alike. Come on now. I done got phone calls from people like, say, man, didn't y'all just say? I'm just saying. I understand it's part of the game. It's and like Kamar said, the struggle is sweet, right? Mama Jenkins said, I think this Outlaw team is on point and the work speaks for itself. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Well,
Mama Jenkins.
if we providing platforms safe for like my brother here tonight, right? I believe he's sincere about teaching you personal self-defense, right? I don't feel like I'd be referencing you to a clown, and you go and you go up in there and he got you on some of that Tommy Davidson shit off In Living Color. I believe like you're gonna learn something. And people who we had Randy Jones on Monday. I believe Randy's sincere about running for the 7th district aldermanic seat, and so I'm more in tune with the people than the system or the party. You know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna be for the people first. Shout out to Carrie Walker Jones in the chat room. She said all that open space in Midtown would make a great sports complex. Well, they just did one on Green Bay Avenue. The old Green Bay Avenue elementary school is now like this super sports complex. Shout out to Rick Muhammad, who's a friend of the show. He's up there all the time working with kids. But yeah, I mean, it's so much you could do with Midtown, but I think Midtown needs to have some sort of economic part to it. We got enough places for community centers and shit. We need to bring something in there retail wise, because what they're forcing us to do right now is you want grocery, go to Shorewood or go on East Capitol, if you or go to Glendale or go to Brown Deer or go to Brookfield or Menominee Falls. I don't want to give them my money. I want my money to stay in the hood. So we needed businesses. We see Walgreens is leaving. Walgreens on Capitol is another place.
Gone.
Well, yeah, gone.
Walgreens is gone already.
And that shit been there since I was 3 years old, before I was even born, right? So you taking the resources out the community so we can come to you to spend our money. As soon as our black asses move out there where that's at, they're gonna reopen. You know, Walgreens on Capitol was reopened, right? What the fuck? Ain't that
CVS.
I will say this though too. Whatever we put.
The nigga had that color, DJ.
Who the hell was that?
Whatever we put in replace in Midtown, we got to stop this retail theft. A lot of those companies, all them people over there, because I live right down from Midtown, and they were stealing from the Lowe's, they were stealing from the Walmart. I mean, so at the end of the day, if it's a business, any type of corporate, if I'm losing money, we might as well just get out of there. So if you put, so basically what I'm saying is that if we put something in there, we got to keep that in mind too. If we want it to stay, either it's gonna have to be security. Just can't let everybody run out. Let everybody just walk up in there without nothing. But you know that's why they're gonna leave, because it's security or retail theft, because it's not making no money.
Well, I'll say this: I'm racist, right? Is somebody really on the toilet? Somebody on the toilet while we on the show? I just want to know who mic to cut off. That's all.
It's not me, so.
That was Sean, most definitely.
Lord.
We're all in the same spot.
Doing Outlaw Radio.
That wasn't me, Courtney. That was Ewok. That was Ewok the Great taking a motherfucking piss, nigga. Waiting for you to acknowledge it, nigga. I was waiting patiently.
That is the wrong way
to
try to
get attention. It's you.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck. This Outlaw Radio. I don't need
he was waiting like a
except from the motherfucking little bit that I get right here, nigga. It is what it is.
Hey, Kev, he was waiting on you. His leg was shaking like a motherfucker.
Hold on, y'all. I can't hear neither one of y'all. Hold on, y'all talking over each other. Hold on. It's becoming confusing. Go ahead, Ewok, because I did have you, and I forgot you was in there. So I guess you had to first take a shit.
Oh, so that was Ewok on the toilet.
Yeah, that's Ewok. I forgot. Right, my bad. My bad.
It was a piss, first of all. Goddamn it, I pissed like a man because I had to, because I've been drunk a 6-pack of beer and I'm high. That's why I was in there doing what I was doing.
Okay.
Smoked me a sack and shit and called in and talk shit to y'all square.
Right. It's something going on here.
He high.
I told you already I was high, motherfucker. Now bye.
Call that and talk shit to you squares. That just sounds straight out the 70s. Did he hang up on you? He hung up on it. Shout out to Ewok, man. 2 sheets in the wind in Arizona, man. She said J setting is the drill dancing I was speaking of. Okay. I didn't know that.
Look that up.
We used to just say drill team. They're a drill team. They had some shit like funky, fresh, dope steppers on they jogging suits and shit. What was the store in Capitol Court where you can go and get the shit put on your shirts and get belt buckles and
Family Tees.
Was it Family Tees where you people come out with Sir so and so on their hat?
On your hat and shit. Yeah.
They just thought that shit was fly. She said, Mariah saying yes, that something it would make a great sports complex.
You had one of them outfits, Karen? You had some with the Sir Pop Lock, something like that?
No, I was a little kid. I didn't have no money.
Bad.
I had to wear what my mama bought me. I didn't.
Right.
It was the 80s and it was Reaganomics, and my daddy had lost his good supervisor job. I might have had some tough skins and a Flash Gordon t-shirt on or some shit. It wasn't none of that name brand shit going on with my mama. She said, shit, I ain't paying for you to wear nobody's name on your ass.
When you out here hustling or something?
I was a kid. I wasn't hustling.
What about when you was a teenager?
Oh, when I was a teenager, I was fly as shit.
So
yeah, I was
out here
dope.
Hustling or something, wasn't you?
I was getting. I wouldn't put nothing on my hat though.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it came with what I needed on it. If I had a Mariners hat or a Pirates hat or something like that, and then you fit it up. I didn't need to put nothing on it.
You ain't got nothing. No.
You seen that shit? No, I don't even wear hats now. I'm too old for that shit.
Right.
Marcel said none of them wore Jerry curls. I just said Jerry curls because Brother Kevin was on point. The skating team started in the late 70s. All right, them brothers didn't have curls. My bad, y'all. Shout out to y'all. Mary Angel, how you doing, my sister? She said, hi, everyone. Kingdom blessings to you all. God bless you as well. Marcel said, the weed must be all natural. Well, I would think we wouldn't want to smoke nothing tampered with. If you smoking it to, really you want to be sick, like it becomes a cigarette.
The thing he talking about seeded weed versus the loud.
Okay.
Seeded weed is not more natural. You know what I'm saying? Weed with seeds in it.
Okay.
Get it? The seeds.
I get you. I get you.
That's how you know it's real. I need to see some seeds.
Like unseeded watermelon, you know what I mean?
Damn.
The shit tampered with.
Wow. Good night, y'all. Good night, Mariah.
Good night, Mariah.
Blessings.
Cuz gotta get to work in the morning. I'm knowing that. Mary Angel says the behavior has got to change in the hood. That's one reason people don't want retail thefts. Well, I was about to make a point, but let me catch the chat room up because as far as retail theft going, I'm glad you said that, Brother Fletch. MC Tone said, I can't stop stealing. I need help. He said, I stole a book on how to stop stealing. That shit gets deep around here, man. Oh my goodness. Marcel says he is right. The retail thefts is causing our neighborhoods a lot of problems. The Burger King is closed. You can't even get a Whopper. I know Kamar saying your big ass don't need no Whopper anyways. But damn it, Burger King is closed because it was fighting too much at the Burger King. And then they tried to rob it and the girl got killed. Like,
oh, thought you were talking about the one on 76. I'm like, they closing that one too?
Well, that's just the most horrible one ever, where it take you 30 years to get the smallest. That shit's horrible.
Or you got to go to MLK. Or you got to
that's
go over to West
and get robbed in the line. Right?
It's like you be having some bad experiences.
You're gonna need John's system if you're going down there on local. You need the EPU system down there trying to get you a cheeseburger and shit. You're gonna have to wrestle for that motherfucker.
Why are you deterring people away from these things? It's not that rough in these areas.
They need to clean that shit up. He said he had a pair of jeans called Smacks from Marcus. Wow. I had some shoes called Spats. Don't. Mama Jenkins says she liked that red, but can't you even find that anymore? I haven't seen that in years. I ain't seen that since the 90s.
That's a land race.
So, John, I wanted to say too, I want to give you a chance because I didn't want to hold you all night, but we get to talking shit sometimes and it just goes on and on. I wanted you to finish on telling people, ultimately, what is your goal for bringing your services to the community? What would you like to see happen?
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get into schools. I'm trying to get into organizations and businesses, because most businesses don't teach their employees, staff on anything on how to be safe, right? You just watch a video, and everybody go for broke, right? I also certified in teaching active shooter training as well. So I got a program I put together on that I'm gonna add to the website. But that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show everybody that you got options, right? You got options out here. 2024, we don't know what's going to go on. When this weather kick in and it start getting warm outside, and everybody start going for broke, you gonna need to know. You're gonna need to know something, right? And I want you to know it the right way. I want you to know the laws. I want you to do things the right way, and know what you can and cannot do and prepare. That's basically what I'm saying. So lack of knowledge is basically what I think a lot of us suffer from, right? I want our daughters to be safe. I want our sons to be safe out here. If they don't have no experience, they don't have nothing to draw from, right? As far as, like you said, mentorship and stuff like that. But it's just a lot of knowledge that people just don't know. And if they knew it, now they have the option to choose on what they really want to do.
So you open to cross collaborations with different organizations that may already be in tune with mentorship for young men, or going to speak to young people, like, because even to tell your story and speak to going to the military, serving your country, and then coming back home. And then like, so if somebody said, hey, well, we're having an event, have you thought about getting a booth and setting up and just, disseminating information in that regard, even maybe doing some demos?
So that's so this year, like I said, COVID, it was originated in COVID. You know how you go through setbacks. I still work a full-time job as well.
Okay.
And I do this for when I get ready to retire from my job.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that is the goal. We can do physical teaching, but the mentoring and the classes and the seminars, that's basically information is basically the key. Information, to me, information and data is the new goal for I think 2024, moving on. Just like what how Rel was spitting that fire about how he knew all those facts. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't really know anything about that, right? It's a lot of people walking around here just look for information. The information that you share with them could change their life, right?
Right.
And in, whatever field, whether it's self-defense, whether it's public safety, whether it's just, oh, you did it, you got out of here, you came back and you came up, and you grew up right where I grew up at. So basically, that's what EPU really is all about.
Okay. I just want to make sure you got to say that before we went off, or before you said, hey, I gotta bounce, which you feel free. I don't want to hold,
Oh, no, I'm here till y'all turn the lights off.
Oh, okay.
Took off.
All right, you here for the long haul.
I got another class tomorrow. I mean, I took off for tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm just saying, last week I was damn. I said this week I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, I just like to respect people's time, because sometimes people like, this motherfucker ain't gonna never shut up, right?
He said the long haul, boss.
MC Tone said, I'm keeping my hoes away from that class. Carrie Walker Jones is asking, because she wasn't here earlier. She said, how young is he starting them? And you said 12 for personal self-defense, but anything younger, you would recommend them enrolling in Kempo, right?
Kempo, anything younger, I would recommend them enrolling in Kempo Goju to get the structure.
Okay. Because
once they get the structure and the setting, then they can start understanding where to go, right?
12 years old.
Yep.
Now listen, like I said, it's we got a couple minutes left to just kind of be cheerleaders for foolishness right now. And did y'all see that Willie D came along and did an interview with Cat Williams? Now, Cat Williams, people are still freaking out about Cat Williams. Right? Like, this is, for me, it's got people in different industries. Like, now the sportscasters or the sports dudes and the athletes are going at each other. Rappers been going at each other. Taraji and the actresses is going at Oprah. And like, this Cat Williams shit has shaken the planet, right? And everybody was saying, well, the Shay Shay Cat Williams interview was just entertaining because he was just calling people's names. But if you watch Willie D's podcast with his interview, which shout out to Willie D, who's been on the show. If you watch his ain't that, and it's still a good interview, still a great interview. His ain't about calling names and all that. He's really talking.
He still was letting motherfuckers know who, he was still clarifying shit like the Ali Sadiq shit. And,
but a lot of people didn't know about that. And I think Willie D did that because that's a Houston comedian.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Willie was kind of on some shit. He was saying, like, come on now, Cat. Like, I'd be always worried when Willie D interviewing somebody that somebody gonna piss him off and he gonna end up whooping their ass in the studio. So I always be like, hey, man, don't get Willie upset, man. Because Willie be like, no. And you be like, oh, shit, here we go. But, and then he called him Vlad. I thought he was joking. They tried to make a big thing of that. And then at the end, he said, you have the most horrible questions. And people was like, damn, he dissed Willie D. And I was like, but they was laughing. But he also told him he was an icon. He also told him that he grew up on his music and that he said, I admire your platform. That's why I'm here. So people was looking to make, something out of nothing. He say crumbs to bricks, as 8Ball and MJG used to say. But I just thought his was a whole different side of Cat Williams, talking about how he grew up and the stuff he went through. And because there's people who say that nigga's crazy. I've been hearing that. I've seen Corey Holcomb say Cat Williams is funny. He's a good dude and all that, but he is crazy. He's a certified Looney Tune. And so I thought
Savant's always come off as crazy to regular motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even when people was like, how he read 3,000 books in a year, some shit like that. And I was thinking, like, real shit. I've always been a nerd, and like I was reading since I was 4, and I remember reading. Like, my auntie had you remember the encyclopedia?
Yeah, everybody had that. Nobody ever read that shit. Black people just had it in their house.
No, I sat and read A through Z. Like,
you was the only person, because I was the only person.
So, like, I'm like 3,000 books. I mean, hell, them little ass C-Spot Run books and shit. You can read like 10 of those a day. It ain't hard. It ain't hard to read 3,000 books. It's just shit is always impossible to motherfuckers that ain't doing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right, there you go.
Let them know.
And if you grew up, I grew up in Atkinson Library because they had the summer reading program where you had to set a goal, like to be in the talent show or whatever. You had to. So how many books you gonna read this summer? I'm gonna read 50. I know one summer I read 50. I set the goal. They gave me the little certificate with the star on it, and we got to break dance in the talent show. So
when I was in middle school at Morris, that's when Morris was on 84th, but it used to be like a dog. Be able to like read.
You broke up, Rail. I lost you for a second.
You know, so shit. I read books to get personal pan pieces from Pizza Hut too when I was in middle school. So
oh yeah, me too.
It's funny how he blanked out and came back in. Like, I read a lot of books to get some pizza. Like,
right. Blanked out. Shit. Yeah, no, I was just saying
Morris
was right down the street from that Pizza Hut on 84th and Hampton, and they used to have that campaign where you read books for personal pan pieces.
I'm thinking 84th and Hampton. Where's Pizza Hut on 84th and Hampton?
Now it's a dog grooming thing, but it's still shaped like a hut. It's
Did that used to be a Pizza Hut?
Yeah, that used to be a Pizza Hut like that.
Long time ago.
Really? And then that Speedway used to be a Super America. Remember that shit?
I remember that. Right. Yeah. I used to teach at Morris. That was the first school I taught at. So yeah, I remember. Yeah,
that's dope. Was it Dr. Onick still?
Yes, it was Dr. Onick. Yeah. It was Dr.
Man, that's the homie right there, man.
Or the home girl, depending on who you ask.
Hey, shit, he was at every one of our Christmas parties. That was my uncle friend. You know?
Listen, I ain't no. See, now you brought your uncle up. I didn't.
He was family. Shit, he's still family to me. Listen, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, my experience of walking into Morris, and I'm 23, and I'm just coming in as a sub, right? And so, like I said, I got gold in my mouth. I got diamonds in my ear. I got jewelry on. I'm looking like an idiot, like not even understanding how to dress professionally yet. Got rims on the Cadillac and all this. And this big 6'5" bald head dude with an earring on, I see him and they say, well, there's Dr. Onick. So I'm thinking, I'm finna go up to him and he finna be like, how you doing, brother? Man, he turned around like, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Barnes. I was like, oh, shit.
And that's the homie. And he still walking around that motherfucker like Joe Clark.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He was a hell of a principal.
Man, yes.
He ran the shit out of that school. But
nobody
he was as fruity as a bag of Starburst. I'm talking about
this did dude his job well, man.
On Fridays, after all the kids gone from the school, he come on the loudspeaker and be like, okay, y'all, it's time to get up out of here because I got to go to Boobies. And if anybody want to have a drink, come down to Boobies and meet me. Yes, that's where I'll be. I used to be like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's like, Boobies, nigga.
Oh, man.
I was not going to Boobies. I was like, I'm not going to Boobies if that's where you going to be, bro. He was a great principal, man. He was
great. He's a great guy, man. Like, matter of fact, after my uncle passed away, I bumped into him at Mr. J's before Mr. J shut down. Cause I used to go there to watch the Steppers and shit. We chopped it up. Still a great dude, man.
Man, he was something else, man. He was. I can't remember the other sister's name. Dr. Sparks. She was a principal too that I dealt with. but she wasn't gay or nothing. She was just a straight up. She didn't play no games. I mean, teachers in check. Anybody coming there, Dr. Sparks said, wait a minute, hold on, before you get started. That's how she start meetings. I was like, damn, Dr. Sparks ain't no punk. She talked me into going after my PhD. Like, you need to do that. You need to do it.
Man, NPS need more Dr. Onyx and Dr. Sparks, man.
I don't know if we need more Dr. Onyx. I don't know if we need more. I think we got a lot of them right now.
Because his lifestyle, I mean, how he ran shit, like, you know.
I'm so conflicted because, and here we go. This is an outlaw conversation. So you take your son to the school and you go to his classroom and his teacher says, hey, come on, sit down, little Kevin. You leaving him in that class? I'm not.
I mean, what's the difference if
I had no car? Like I said, I went to Morris all 3 years, you know, and shit, Dr. Onyx was an excellent principal. And like I said, he was at all the family functions. He was an excellent guy outside of school, you know. So shit, I guess I wouldn't mind it. I just, because my kids see me. They see how I run my house. They see how I love their mama. So they have that example of that shit 24, well, almost 24/7, you know.
Kamar, you leaving him in the classroom? You leaving your little shorty in there with Zorro the Gay Blade?
Well,
wow.
And man,
I don't know, man, because I don't have any sons. I got a daughter. You know what I mean? So that's different.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I got a son. He ain't staying. He coming up out of there. No.
Oh yeah.
Nah, he ain't doing it.
I mean, hey, I understand where you coming from, Kev, though.
Nah.
Because you know what I'm saying? It's like also, you know what I mean, like these teachers and stuff, you know what I mean, the students got to look at them every day.
Well, yeah, but it's too close.
Watching these mannerisms, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, the people you meet along your life, you know what I'm saying, tend to shape and form you a little bit.
No, I understand what y'all saying.
And I'm not homophobic, right? I'm not homophobic at all. But I don't want to run the risk of this being one of the bad gay people. I don't want to run the risk of it.
Bad?
You know, because there's good gay people.
What does that mean?
One of the bad gay people.
What does that mean?
The good gay dude is the gay dude who's just gay, but he mind his business. He don't try to be overly effeminate. He ain't trying to recruit. He ain't trying to, turn you out.
The bad one. Tell me
the bad gay people is the ones who molest young people and try to groom young people.
Do you know how you sound right now?
You know what though?
Do you know
I don't know how I sound. I don't.
Because the one you talking about, the dude that the principal guy, and how you doing? Usually it's not that one that's gonna rape your kid. It's the one that's hiding their gayness that's raping your son. That's talking to you like, hey, Mr. Barnes, how you doing? That's who raping your kid.
Me and my lady was just talking the other day, and I said, damn, you see how many women are fucking kids right now? Like how many teacher women? So I don't think you gotta worry about the guy who walks on the other side of the street.
Exactly.
It's a lot of heterosexual women
well, once again, you have the right to your opinion. I'm just gonna say, if I show up on the first day of school and he's like, hi, Mr. Barnes, I'm gonna be.
But you can't be throwing that stereotype on them,
especially if Kev is in like 3rd or 4th grade and he's like, I'm good, Kevin. I love Kevin. I'm gonna be like, you know what, bro? I'm good. We gonna do something different. It's a personal decision now. I don't want to. I'm not trying to tell nobody else how to run their business. Sean, I know you on the phone still. You ain't got to flush the toilet like Ernest to get in the conversation. Would you?
I ain't said nothing.
Would you? I'm just saying. Would you leave your son, or would you say I want you in a different room?
I'm probably taking my son to a different school.
Like, are y'all gonna look at like test scores and shit? Like are y'all gonna look at any other factors besides?
No, because like you said, he got me. He gonna learn. I'm gonna make sure he learns wherever he go. You gonna learn, right? You don't have no choice in that. I just don't want you, as a young impressionable boy, you fall. See, when I was in elementary school, I remember Miss Jones. I used to love Miss Jones at Phillips
with the open face crown.
Yeah, Miss Jones, man. When I was in 1st grade, Miss Jones give you a hug on every Friday. You getting your hug, and she said, "I just love y'all." And I waited for Fridays to come because I wanted to hug Miss Jones, right? I don't want Mr. Jones talking about, well, I gave everybody a hug before they went home. I don't want you hugging my son, right? If I fall and scrape my knee, Miss Jones would put me on her lap and say, oh, baby, it's going to be okay. Let me put a Band-Aid on this for you. And she rubbed my head and say, you, stop crying. I don't want Mr. Jones doing that to little Kev. Kevin, stop it. Come say, I'm going to put a Band-Aid. No.
But Kev, you cannot be giving gay people the title of being pedophiles. You know what
I said good ones and bad ones,
people.
Courtney.
What you say?
I said good ones and bad ones.
First off, it's just bad people. When have you really heard of a gay person out here, mother? Most of the time, you just hear regular folks doing it.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a bad gay person. Hey, Liberace was a good gay person.
Any of the transgender folks. How about that one?
Hey, I felt like when Kevin said bad gay people, I felt like he meant the gay people that try to influence.
No, he said the ones that
you know what I'm saying? I'm saying that's what I felt like.
Right, and grooming.
I felt like the ones that would try to influence. You know what I mean? Because you got gay people out here that's trying to push that shit on motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't like gay people? Why? You know what I mean? And I feel like them the type that would try to influence a child on choosing a gender. You know what I mean?
I see.
Well, it could be an overly aggressive heterosexual man. If I feel like he a little bit too heavy-handed in how he work with the kids, I take my son out of his class too.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I reserve the right as a parent to make choices for my child's education, especially early on. Right. So it ain't like if it's this big swole bully dude, Debo type dude. I say I don't want my son in there with dude. Dude is mental. Like, look at dude is a retard. I don't want to do
like why Boosie took his kids out the Color Purple the other day.
Like, okay, that's what you making me. Okay.
He reserved the right.
That's how I sound. That's how I sound. MC Tom said he ain't leaving his son. He said he taking that class and he gonna whoop dude ass. So he go call.
Damn.
I'm down with y'all, man. I'm down
he
with
y'all.
What are you whooping dude for though?
Now you gonna whoop the teacher. I don't know.
This went from Dr. being the great principal and what MPS means.
Out here attacking people because they gay? Is that what we doing?
Say that again, Courtney.
I said went from y'all talking about the principal being great to now we attacking folks because they gay.
No, MC Tone is.
Right, MC Tone said that. I didn't say MC Tone said he wanted to whoop some hoes. And nobody on here. This is MC Tone, Courtney. You know.
I feel like this conversation is getting negative, and maybe you just need to redirect the conversation.
Hey, it is going south.
No.
Hold on. That's that forced. No, hold on. That's that forced narrative because you heard what I said, but I don't know if you understand what I mean. Because what stood out to you is because I said gay, but I also said heterosexual. I always said overly aggressive, heavy-handed. Right. If I drop my kids off at a daycare and I see some roaches, then I say these motherfuckers nasty. So I'm not leaving my kids there. I reserve the right to make decisions for my children.
Exactly.
And so it ain't people who want to hear something homophobic. That's what they hear. Right. And gay people who ain't come to terms with their gayness. That's what they hear. But a gay dude gonna say, okay, well, take your goddamn kid. I don't care. I'm right. And what you don't know is the dude who acted straight in class you put him in, I'm bending him over. What dude say I'm murdering him? Like Dwayne Martin was doing Will Smith. Like, you don't even know. I'm just saying. I've always said I'm gonna make the decision.
I think you're not paying attention to what I said. My whole thing was at first it was like you were just trying to label only gay folks as pedophiles. I don't care about
what? How do you get that out of me saying good
you
gay
ain't
people?
Let me finish my statement.
What in the world?
You interrupted me.
Go ahead.
That's the problem. Now, of course, you said you would take your kid out. That's fine. But then you was like, I hope I don't end up one of the bad gay people. And it's like, folks, there's numerous people that's out here being pedophiles. You made it the way you said it was as if only gay folks could be the pedophiles.
Or maybe that's the way you interpreted it because nobody else got that.
Maybe I did.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
Right. I was thinking about all the women, like, damn, where them teachers was at when I was a kid.
Right, that's what I was just saying. There's so many pedophiles with one of the bad gay folks. We don't too much hear about bad gay teachers out here that's touching children. It's always the other teachers.
It's not true at all.
Yeah.
They might be.
I just want to say this. Kev, you made a good point right there when you made your statement, right? About what you said. You should be able to say what you believe, and then people take it on just what you just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most people, pedophiles, whatever, you would never see them coming. You would never be like, that's the dude or that's the lady who you think was doing all that or whatever. It'd be the total opposite of how they're acting on this side of the field, right? They give
Or
you
that's
one
the
face,
kid.
right? They give you one face, but this is the other face, i.e., preachers, teachers, Catholic Church, all this other type of stuff. We may know it or whatever, but the bottom line is we should be able to just talk and have, you know, a preference without it being like,
well, there's always an assumption made. So
right.
You would assume that I'm homophobic because I said I would take my child out that class. But like I said, I'm not just you, but also the pedophile part was the bottom of it, because initially the description of a bad gay person was one who tries to groom and influence. That we didn't hear that. All we heard was pedophile. So it ain't just about them being pedophiles. It's about them trying to teach my son, no, it doesn't matter. You can be a little girl if you want to. Hey, live your life. Like, I don't want him hearing that at 8, right? So that's bad for me too. So when I say bad gay person, I mean somebody who wants to spread their gay.
Away. I get exactly what you're saying, because that's what's being taken away. Your ability,
right.
So
now, is that I just feel like you're stereotyping when you say that, because all gay folks ain't like that. Who out shit in Wauwatosa right now? It's the non-gay teachers that's teaching about homosexuality and all this random shit. Not the gay ones, it's the straight ones. So that's all. It just felt like stereotyping.
And he would have took them out their class too, is what he's saying.
Stereotyping.
What'd you say, Rail? What'd you say?
I said, you saying you would have took them out their class too, because you just don't want to subject your children to someone who can influence them against the teachers of your house.
Right.
Well, my brother Fletcher, before he froze, look, he froze too. He like, right?
I mean, because kids are at school longer than they at home.
Right. That influence goes a long way.
Yeah.
We'll come here with no new shit. That ain't what we teach here. Here's the deal.
Right. Why are y'all even talking about that shit at school?
Right. We talk about options.
They be learning that shit from the other kids. Like that, you got to watch kids around your kids.
Fletch talked about options. He talked about options. If I walk into school, you got 4 fourth grade classes, right? And they're regular ed classes. That means I get to choose as a parent. If I meet a teacher and I like their teaching style better than the other one, as a parent, I have the right to say, you know what, I'd like my son transferred from this class to the other. And they should honor your wishes. And especially if you can articulate why. So if they were to say, well, Mr. Barnes, is there a reason you want him taken out of Mr. Pink's class? I would say, yeah, I just don't really agree with the way Mr. Pink approaches his education. I don't have to explain nothing to them no more than that. As you know, a taxpayer, we pay all y'all salary.
And they just like, cause when I was in middle school, we had teams like 7-1, 7-2, 7-3.
Yeah.
So say it was a 7-1 science teacher and you like the 7-3 science teacher. They would allow your child to go to that 7-3 class, or would they change the whole block to where they would just shift your child to 7-3? Like, how does that go?
You have an amount of time upon your child getting into that class where you can go and say, I want his class or her class switched. I can't wait until the middle of the semester, obviously, but that's why you got to be proactive. So first day of school, I seen how Mr. Pink was acting. So I went right to the principal.
Would they change the class, or would they change the whole team to where he?
No, they can change him. You can have science with 7-2 and still be in 7-1. I was in the PAC class. I was in the PAC class at Bell Middle School. I was in a program for the academically talented. I got kicked out, right? But I still had to keep the PAT science and the PAT math.
Okay.
So I was in 7-1, but I had to go. They switched me to 7-2 with the hood, and then I would go to a different math and science class than them.
Okay.
They did it all. They can do whatever they want.
I ain't never seen that shit before.
Yeah, I went through it. I got kicked out of PAT every year I was in there because I didn't want to be in a class with all white people. And they laughed at Big Daddy Kane. That shit was offensive. I said, this is some bullshit. I gotta get up out of here. That's a true story. Vaughn said, I'm finna get canceled. Can't cancel me. I own my microphone. Can't cancel me. It ain't got to be on Facebook, right? But I'll find somewhere on the internet to put this motherfucker. You can't cancel me. And like I said, I'm not. If a gay, I taught for MPS. I taught with gay teachers. I've worked with gay people. I've helped gay families, right? I'm not against gay people. I'm just saying when it comes to my son, we talking about my son.
Nobody said you were, Kev.
No, you Kev, you're stereotyping, calling everybody pedophile.
I just said the word that you were stereotyping things.
You was real Karen at me for a minute.
It's different. I didn't
Courtney turned into Karen on me tonight.
I was just
damn it, Mr. Barnes. Listen, have you ever had a conversation with a white person? They say they flip it on you totally and say, you're the problem. You're why there's racism in this world. That's what that conversation white people, when they flip that shit all around on me, like, you are the problem. That's why I'm going on Facebook and comment on their little posts and shit. Like, people like you create hate. Oh, I created hate, right? Like, all right.
Some of my motherfuckers ain't came to terms with their gayness.
Well, some of them ain't. And then that make them want to, they can't take the criticism. See, as heterosexual males, all we get all day long is criticism. All we get is people telling us what we do wrong, how we ain't shit, especially as we get older. Oh, your old ass, get the fuck out the way. You ain't got no money, get your broke ass on. Most of us who are secure in our masculinity ain't even tripping on that shit. We don't get no fuck about that. We going about our business like it is what it is. But those of us who are insecure try to fight. Oh, what they say, a hit dog holler. So he's upset about this. I ain't never on social media mad because some woman said brothers ain't shit. I be laughing. Like, let me see what that picture look like.
Baby ass hurt, man.
I understand
women
why you
ain't
said
shit
that.
either. Women, like,
them motherfuckers be so hurt. Them motherfuckers be so hurt. I'm talking to men and they come on my post talking shit.
That's part, man. Part did not like that.
God damn, because it's been happening for a while now. You know what I mean? Like we on the road here. Like, come on, y'all, stop this shit.
Right. You got to understand who you're talking to. Like, you have to know your audience, right? And if I go into a room full of gay men, right, and I'm going to try to address them about my perspective as a heterosexual male, I done already fucking lost. I don't got an Ice Cube chance in hell. When I'm up in a room with 50 gay dudes telling them I take my son out your class, I'm not expecting no support. So if they all was like, "Whoa, get out of here, you homophobe," I would expect it. Like, well, what you think you was gonna get in there, Kev? So
you was outer.
But it's gonna be some gay dudes in there who gonna be like I give a fuck. It's one less kid I gotta be worried about. Take your fucking kid to some other class. Like, he gonna be, I'm straight. I do this. I really do this for a living. I'm really gay out here. Like, and so he's secure in his gayness. That's what I was saying. Ewok is saying, I think, well, Carrie Walker is agreeing with you. She said what she said. Okay.
Those are these sounds you making, man. What you doing?
Who, me? Oh no, that's Sean. I don't know. Sean is, I don't know. Sean is washing dishes.
What I do?
It was a lot of like,
I'm outside. I ain't washing shit. I'm outside.
He's stuck in the snow.
He out there working. He changing the tire.
So I just left the house.
He changing. They out there changing the tire.
Sean hate all of us. I guarantee you. I hate all these motherfuckers. I used to like some of them and just hate Kev. Like I hate them all now. Ewok said, "I just don't like that fruit pie." The magician. He said, I just don't trust those fruit pie magician ass dudes. It ain't necessarily even that for me.
Conversation. That's what I was trying to stop.
Well, you can't stop that. That's Ewok, right? Vaughn said it was some non-gay dude who was on some weird shit with my daughter. People, period, be on BS. He said this dude called himself kissing my daughter on the head. Like, nigga, I will walk to North Carolina like Frank Nitty and beat you to death. Fuck out of here. People are crazy and freaky as hell these days.
Man, kissing on the head, that's crazy as hell. Like, who do you think he is? Jesus? Like,
right, don't be
third eye kissing my child.
I'm most definitely taking my kid out of his class, right? I had my daughter had a teacher at Go to My Air when she first went, my firstborn, and he was a little effeminate. I could tell just because, as a real heterosexual male, I have gaydar, and I could tell, like, hey, this dude got some sugar in his tank. But they got ready to go on a camping trip, and we didn't want, because I'm very skeptical of people. I'm like, I don't want her going on no overnight camping trip with some people I don't know. Because if a motherfucker touch her, I got to burn the whole goddamn school down. And so we had made up our mind that she couldn't go. Well, they said, well, no, she has to go as part of her grade. So I personally went to her teacher and I said to him, you know, this is my only daughter's, my firstborn, and I'm not threatening you. I'm just guaranteeing you, if something funny happens to my daughter on this trip, I'm holding you personally responsible for it. And you got to understand that if something happened to her, I'm not really tripping off what I got to lose then. So I'm going to come for you. It's like, oh no, Mr. Barnes, you don't have to worry about that. And no, no, I can guarantee and this and that and the third and whatever. Why, when she got back from her camping trip, she said this dude's walking around with a camera filming their feet. Right? One of the bad gay people out here filming little kids' feet and talking about, let me see, wiggle your toes. It was a scandal at Golda Meir. The principal got fired, everything. Right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. As a parent, you got to be receptive to where you putting your kids at and be quick to say, I don't know if I want you in here with this dude. Right? Because I got one time to hear about you talking about, hey, Dad, Mr. Pink gave me a hug today before I came home. Hey, bruh, I don't want you hugging my son. I don't want you hugging him. Right? So somebody gonna come at me and say, well, what if he was choking? Would you want him to do the Heimlich maneuver and all of that? I wouldn't want him to do the mouth to mouth on my son. I wouldn't trust that. I don't know where his mouth has been. I'm just saying. Why make my son a...
You don't know where her mouth been. You don't know where
well, you know, you could say that. You could say that.
They do mouth to mouth no more with CPR. There's too much shit.
Do they put the plastic piece on?
I think they just do the chest compressions because you know, shit. Anybody can have anything these days.
Right. Well, like I say, I reserve the right. I'm not saying I'm right about all this shit either. So please don't think that this is gospel. This
right. It's just your right as a parent to raise your kids how you choose to raise them.
This is a hidden book of the Bible, the book of Kev.
I think
thou shalt not get fucked
society
up.
fucked up to the point where you can't just say, like, you know what I mean? No, I don't want my kid here, and this is why. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we should be able to say, if I don't want my kid being taught by an Arabian man, you know what I'm saying? I should be able to say that.
This is true. Even if it's a bad or
it's just society that's fucked up, and that's gonna look at you and point the finger and be like, you wrong, you shouldn't think like that, you out of order. But like, no, because it's my responsibility to raise my child the way I want my child raised. And one of the things that factor into that is the teacher, the teachers that they have.
That's right. You got to get them good black mama teachers we used to have. Miss Stewart, Miss Neighbors, Miss Herring. Them, you know, they wasn't too far removed from whooping their own kids' ass. So it wasn't no thing for them to get on you. They couldn't touch me.
Pull up at your house to tell on you.
That's right, right? Like, I know where you live, Mr. Barnes. And it got really bad for me once they found out my father was a preacher. So then all of these black church ladies like, don't have me call Reverend Barnes. I'd be like, no, call Miss Barnes and see what she say when you wake her up in the middle of the day with some bullshit. It ain't gonna be no blessing. I tell you that much. Kerry Walker Jones said a lot of these teachers lack personality and seem angry. I have to give it up for teachers that I worked with in MPS. I work with a lot of hardworking teachers, right? Like teachers who were dedicated to it, who love the kids, who worked overtime to you know, impart change on the kids. So I think that there are still a lot of teachers who are passionate about what they do. You gotta love it to do it. Right. It's not an easy job. I know everybody think they could do it. It's not easy, and so you gotta love it to do it. And so I shout out to all of the teachers who, you know, are really in there, even the gay ones. Right.
I'd be angry too. Them motherfuckers overworked and underpaid. I just
underpaid though.
Man, shit. So the shit, well, the ones that I see dealing with their benefits and shit.
Hold on, real.
I told you about Sean.
Is you crushing cans or something? I can't go static.
No, I'm not crushing nothing.
Mute yourself. What you doing?
Maybe
y'all gonna stop blaming me, man.
I was gonna say maybe somebody else. They like, watch, they gonna blame Sean.
I mean, is Ewok on the phone? If not, then it's Sean.
No, he's solo. He's Sean like, they just a bitch. Why y'all bullying on little Sean?
He ain't calling in next week.
right. Nah, he'll call me and cuss me out, and then call in next week like it's all good. Like, what up, bro? No link. Motherfucker,
of course.
Call me everything except for a child of God. Let me see.
I'm not gonna do all that.
Sonia Thrower said they need the teachers I had back in my day when I was young. I don't know about them old school teachers. See, when I came into MPS in the early 80s, a lot of them had been them teachers who taught for MPS when niggas was colored. And so a lot of them was racist. And you could tell, like we had Miss Bayless at Phillip. She had to hate black people. She was it was no reason for her to be that fucking mean. I was like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, so I don't necessarily want them teachers. Unless it's Miss Jones. Miss Jones, I love Miss Jones. Shout out to Miss Jones. Man, I thought Miss Jones was gonna be my girl, man, for real. When I was in first grade, I'm like, man, that's my girl. I used to be trying to comb my hair and shit in the morning so I could look good for Miss Jones. Like, let me brush my teeth.
It was that gold tooth and that red hair.
Man, that perm, man. High heels, boy, smelling good like Liz Claiborne. Trying to tell you.
Honestly, in my memory, she kind of looked like the lady off a car wash, the prostitute.
Oh my God.
Like in my mind, that's what she looked like. Cause I just remember the red hair and the gold too. I mean,
real. You low key and something like, Kev, you been loving hookers, yo.
No, that lady was fine on car wash. That was her profession. Shit, you know me. I don't knock any hustle that ain't exploiting anybody. Shit.
She had the clean.
Sex work is real work.
Like, go to my car and get my bag for me. She had the clean Cadillac, green, Coupe de Ville. Ewok said him downstairs. I got you back, Fletch. I got you back, man. You dropped out. Crystal Ship, how you doing, my sister? Congratulations to Control C. You had a relocation.
Launch on Saturday. That's right.
Yeah, I was just about to say they got an event coming up on Saturday.
Don't be excited. Where the horns and stuff I can hit the horns, man. Pew, 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 pew. Do it.
I'm gonna need for you to calm down. Right? I just relax.
You're supposed to be excited about
it. Grab the wheel before I can even turn it. Like, you there down there. You crash. Damn. I was finna ask her to put the details in the chat room so I could share with the people. Like, where the horns? Give her horns. You hate women, Kevin.
Sounds. It's a party.
Right. Put that info in the chat room for us, Crystal. Ewok said Courtney don't even know who Fruit Pie the magician is. Who is Fruit Pie?
I'm like, that's a real person. I thought you were just saying something.
I didn't know. Right? I didn't know. She said it's options out here for parents, including homeschooling. That's right. But I'm paying taxes. So I'm gonna find a school. I pay taxes. No, I ain't gonna keep mine at home and then you still getting some of my bread. No, y'all got to make this work. She said many teachers are underpaid and overworked. When I was a teacher, I didn't feel like I was underpaid. I wasn't making $1 million a year, but I was living pretty good. I ate a lot of steak off MPS. I had fresh whips and all kinds of shit. Got my credit right, bought some property. That was all based off me working at MPS. That was the basis of it. She said it's possible.
You was stealing money too, huh?
I was not. Was I stealing?
You said you got a car off of
I did, man. I worked hard, man. Got a fresh lap.
It was in on the game,
man. Like, I wish I had stayed, goddamn. And you know, all the cats who I talked with that were teachers are now like principals and administrators and central services and superintendents, and they all say that to me, like, Barnes, you should have stayed. Why did you leave? I just couldn't. The monotony was killing me. I could just sitting in that room every day. I was like, this is driving me. I used to be out the building for my class. They'd be like, damn, I thought you had a classroom. Like, oh shit, I gotta go back into school. I used to, especially on Friday.
I'm gonna go on a podcast and Cat Williams. Like, Kevin Barnes, he used to work at MPS. He was getting money from him.
Right. He stole a lot of money.
He was scamming money under the table. He got a car out of him.
He wasn't no real teacher. She said, I know a few parents that are doing it and doing it well. I don't have time to homeschool and it's too late because Shorty will be out in May. So my commitment is done. So, but you know, I've been very vocal about his direction and where he and my daughter, where you go to school, that matter. We was the type of parents that will call a conference. Y'all gonna have to meet with us tomorrow. My wife and I, we gonna show up. If something's amiss, we sitting at the table Monday morning, like, okay, we only got an hour and a half. We both got to go to work, but what the fuck is this bullshit? And I think more people should be like that with their kids.
And I wish
he said his mother was a teacher and she cared about all of her students. Okay. Go ahead, Rare. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I wish I could homeschool my kids, man. I got to get this money, but otherwise, shit, I really don't like them being in school. You know what I'm saying? Just like I wish I would be home teaching them gardening, teaching them teaching them all the shit that that really get them somewhere. You know, like I was reading something the other day. I think you had mentioned it, saying how a lot of jobs now is also talking about getting rid of the bachelor degree requirement.
I'm just going to talk about it.
But yeah, you know, even like the school board, like I said before, it was founded by Rockefeller, who said he wanted a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So you know, it's cool for the kids who can retain their independence and critical thinking through the institution, but there's too many kids that we losing to that institutionalization, that they become great rule followers, great metrics meters, but not motherfucking thinkers.
Yeah, anytime it's somebody who's a critical thinker and a social critic, they're gonna be met with a bunch of blowback. When you go against the grain, that's just the first thing that they do. They try to discredit you. Um, Shout out to Will Graves. I see Marty in the chat room. Big Marty, what's going on, man? Neighborhood. That's
Yeah,
a 4100 partner right there. He said Miss Neighbors. Yeah, you know, Miss Neighbors wasn't one of my favorites, but you know, she was there. She was dedicated.
She was one of my favorites, man. I had her when they put me in the gifted and talented classes, and you know, she was a cool teacher. And then I ended up at her church one time on accident.
Oh, wow, okay.
I didn't even know she was in church like that.
Her husband was an alderman. Roy Neighbors was an alderman.
Oh, okay.
You know what? She wasn't particularly fond of me. I wonder why. It wasn't a lot of them there who were fond of me. I mean, you had a couple teachers, but the rest of them was like, I can't stand that little motherfucker, man. But you know, it is what it is.
They all love me, shit.
Nah,
especially
man.
First grade when I won that Black Excellence Award for designing the school T-shirt. It was like 91, I think, some shit.
Oh my God. You know, my brother messed it up for me because he was like a really good kid. Like he was really square coming through. He had some incidents. Here and there, but he was, you know, he was a good guy. I was not. And I never aimed to be. I'm finna blow this classroom up. I'm bored. I'm finna make these niggas laugh or do some crazy shit. And the teachers used to get, and I would get smart with them. So they didn't like me. So only a few of them would really say, you know, I had Miss Allen, I had Miss Jones. After that, it's not really too many. The rest of them pretty much, I don't like that. I think I'm the reason they got rid of 6th grade. They sent our ass right to middle school at the 5th grade. We didn't get no graduation or nothing. Courtney said, she said, most I see have a partner, a husband. I think she was talking about the gay teachers. Crystal's laughing. Let me see what we got. Catch the chat room before we get out of here. Sonia Thrower was like, she said, I'm talking about Benjamin. What you say, Sean?
You pissed Courtney off and she left. Talk about her gay friends.
You think it was me? You think I did it? You think I did? Okay. I mean, because you was kind of going at her about how she was laughing. So I was just thinking maybe it was probably you. Like, you know, I don't know. Something we could talk about it. Sonia Thor said I was talking about Benjamin Franklin School on 20. Yeah, I didn't go to Franklin. Sean, did you go to Franklin?
I went to Garden Homes.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to Garden Homes too.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I went to Phillip. I went to
Garden Homes with the joint.
What? Elementary school's the joint.
It was the joint. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Garden Homes was woo.
Okay. It's crazy how the neighborhood, like back then, because Sean said he went to Sean, where you say you went? Garden Homes, right? And so we went to Phillip. Some dudes went to Keith Avenue. Some dudes went to Franklin. Some dudes went to Green Bay, Silver Spring. That's crazy how you went to your neighborhood school, especially for elementary, and brothers knew each other. That's why we all really knew each other by the time we got older and got on some crazy shit, because we had all went to school together. I had cousins. My cousins, the Guytons, went to Franklin. The stories we heard, the stories we used to hear about them at Franklin. Carrie Walker Jones said, my daughter was consistently clashing with a male teacher in school. She said she didn't like the way he looked at her. When I talked to him and asked him why he felt the need to intimidate her when she does her work and grades and never got in trouble, he said that she has to obey him. I let him know then how much I would hurt him and let the school know how to keep him away from her. He was just creepy, and the female students felt uncomfortable around him. He said they let him go. Okay, yeah, they should have. Wow, trust her to child molester ass dude. Shout out to Tasha James. How you doing, my sister? How you doing? So the time and the date for Crystal Ship's event is Saturday from 9 to 1. Stop by and see the new space, chat, take a pic, and get some tips on the printing industry, and check out a few vendors. 530 East Vienna Avenue. Okay, Saturday from 9 to 1, 530 East Vienna Avenue. She said, I poured more of my money back into my students than I took home as a teacher. Okay. I spent a lot of time with them. I taught them as best as I could, but I took the bread to the crib. I had to have it. We needed it at that time. Me and my wife needed that money. Tasha James said that's the point. They want us working so someone else can teach our kids. Oh, good point. They want you to be so preoccupied with your job that you can't even pay attention to their education. A lot of people fall victim to that. That's very true.
Right.
Let me see. Sonia Thor said, just show up sometimes and see how the day going. That's what I'm saying. I like teachers need to know. I just to come for parent teacher conference and say, here you go. This is my card. I'm right. Because I'm normally worked in the downtown vicinity. So when my kids were at Golda, whether I was in Hillside or whether I was at Employ Milwaukee or wherever I was at, I was right by the school. So I would always tell teachers, you have any problem, just call me. I'm coming through. I'm that parent that show up in the lunchroom like this. Damn, that goes your daddy. I'm Mr. Brian. Mr. Barnes, if you better, he know ain't shit I can do. Damn. I almost hit him one time in the cafeteria, and I said to him, why shouldn't I knock the shit out of you right now? And he said, please don't knock the shit out of me. I couldn't hit him after he said that. He looked up like, because you'd ruin my reputation for the rest of my life. And probably go to jail and be on the news if you slept. But I'm pissed. Well, I got to come from work because you clowning. I'm ready to whoop some ass. Ewok said it's the dude on every Hostess pie. He got a cape on and a magic wand. Kev, you ate 10,000 of them pies and never saw dude. Well, I ate the pie, not the rapper. The fuck I'm looking at the rapper for? You just said it yourself. I ate the pie. Who the fuck do I care who's on the rapper for? I ain't worried about the hamburger at McDonald's. I want a hamburger. I don't know what kind of shoes he had on. I don't know. Damn, Ewok. Crystal Ship said tomorrow's the board meeting, I think. I think they're discussing where the money has been going. Okay, for MPS. Okay. And that's good. That's good. Shout out to Miss Beverly. I'm glad they putting pressure on him. Deacon Mikey Davis is laughing. He said Keith Avenue was the shit. See, there we go. Keith Avenue was the shit, he said. I said Phillip. He said Garden Homes. You said Keith Avenue what, Sean?
It was just shit. It wasn't the shit. It was just shit.
Oh, man. I don't know about Keith Avenue. I know Parkman was somewhere you didn't really want to be at. Motherfuckers get hands and feet put on them. Shout out to Shabaka Sankor.
Same different.
Yeah. So look, man, we're gonna get out of here for the night, man. I'm so happy. I'm my brother Fletch. I'm glad you came through. You are welcome on the show. Not only because of your sponsorship, but because I know you've been a supporter of what we do for a while. Like so, and I know you, and I'm talking years, right? We ain't talking about no months. So shout out to you. I want to give you one more chance to talk about your organization and how people can get in touch with you.
So basically, my organization, EPU, Personal Self-Defense, is giving the people options, right? We're teaching you everything from basic self-defense to the laws, to how to watch yourself in the streets and awareness, right? You see my website, my number's right there, basically 414-861-1643. I personally will prefer you to call me, and then we get it cracking. But I just want to say one thing before I leave. What Rail said about homeschooling and teaching your kids, this mentorship, and we was talking and where I'm going, even with this program that we're doing, how with personal self-defense, is basically, I think that what we should do with mentorship about teaching the kids what they're not learning in school, because the agenda learned in school is never going to line up, because it doesn't line up with the money that the people are pushing to teach that. They want to keep you ignorant. Information, like I said, the data information is new currency, and that's what we got to teach these kids. But it got to be the right information and the right data, right, to make their lives better. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Man, no problem. No problem. Always a pleasure. Kamar, it's Wednesday, so we're gonna be shut down until Monday, which is Martin Luther King Day, right? And I want to do a show on Martin Luther King Day.
Get your freak on.
Michael King, as they call it. Martin Luther was his rap name. Michael King is his real name, right?
Yeah.
We want to do a show. I want to do a show on Martin Luther King today, King Day. So, what you got going for the rest of this week?
That's what he fought so hard for, so we could do a show on
Martin. Right. I would like you all to be able to do a podcast on my birthday. Right.
Because I have a dream that you will be able to do Outlaw Radio.
I have a broad waiting in the next room, and I need to keep somebody busy. No, look, you got me started. Come on, what you got going on this week, man? I already pissed off all the gay people. Now the civil rights niggas gonna be mad at me too. Shit.
Same old same, man. You know what I'm saying? Moving and grooving with the House of Vitality, you know. Okay. But I will say this: tomorrow is the third Thursday pitch contest, the first one of the year for the Chamber of Commerce.
Man, can people get that info if they holler at you? Can they get some info?
Yeah, definitely. You can look at my page. Just post it on my page.
Okay. Real Crystal said, "What's up?" I'm sorry. Yeah, Crystal said, "What's up with the wine?" She want a bottle, I guess.
Okay. I'm supposed to be getting some batches cracking. I'll be having them ready for Valentine's. So I'm shooting around Valentine's. I've been asked to do my cranberry ginger again and my apple pie one, and I think I want to do a strawberry and a white grape. So I'm gonna have those ready round about Valentine's.
So nothing this weekend coming up. You ain't got no bottles on that.
I got one last bottle left, man. That apple pie one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit you Friday and see what you got. So I hide this one from her. So
I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up Friday and see what you got.
Oh, okay, for sure. So just want to remind everybody, tomorrow is January 11th. That's 111. So whatever you really want to get cracking this year, set your intentions. Write down 5 things that you can do towards that goal, and tomorrow is a great day to manifest.
There we go.
Numerology, my brother, is that what that is?
Oh, what'd you say?
Is that numerology?
Yeah. That's,
okay.
Numerology.
Okay. Hey, always it's better to know, right? It's better to know, right? Sean, you out here working in the community. What you got? You got anything coming up? What you doing besides the and talk about your show and how people can catch it.
We got our podcast tomorrow, man. It's Sip and Talk in the game room with the game members, live on Facebook and YouTube. Besides that, man, just working on a couple programs around violence prevention, violence reduction, man. And should be presenting some shit next week, so we'll see.
Okay. See my Packers go down to Dallas this week.
Check me out tomorrow, though. Check me out tomorrow, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Live. Come on through. Join us. Sit on the couch, have a drink, sip and talk.
Okay. We're definitely gonna put it in the People's News Network too, so people can check it out. My Packers going to Dallas this weekend. I know the haters is mad. And they're like, who care about the Packers? Well, it's a black quarterback in Green Bay, just in case you ain't know. And I shared his story today in the People's News Network, that because I was wondering, they show his mom, and I was like, well, damn, did she get knocked up by a bro who was just in the wind or whatever? But actually, he had a father who was present in his life, and they said that his father always pushed him, wanted him to play football. We're talking about Jordan Love, and they said that he became a police officer. And he started to have high blood pressure, and they did something with his meds, and he ended up suffering some sort of mental issue and killing himself. Dang. And Jordan Love got a sister on his arm right now. So, black QB and GB for me. It's all good, right? And they was hating on the brother, tried to, come up with all kinds of different excuses. Why he won't be this and he won't be that. Well, he's surprising and surpassing what you thought. And I don't care if they lose. I think people need to understand that a loss by a professional sports team does not make my day. If I'm cheering for a team, if I'm supporting the team and they lose, yeah, you're a little disappointed, but I'm not like, oh my God. I hope this show is another reminder for people to be who you are and be your authentic self and stop running from it. right? Learn to accept it. We did a show about self-perception a couple weeks ago, and I really don't think people grasp what we were trying to tell them in terms of how do you get to a status of evolution? How do you go from one place to another? How do you utilize a growth mindset to transition? Well, it's a lot of mental tricks. It's a lot of things you got to do to condition your brain. You got to do some tweaking. You got to change the way you see things. You have to change the way you approach things, how you respond to things. It's all kinds of techniques, and nobody has them all down, because we can talk about them. I tell you myself, I'm nowhere near where I should be in terms of my mental tenacity, but I'm committed to digging off into it, right? And I'd rather you hate me for being me than love me for somebody who I am not. And that's how I honestly feel. So when you hear me talk about the show and this, that, and the third, I'm one of those people who understands that it's never cool to be somewhere where you're not wanted. So unless you really can embrace what we do and embrace the passion that we have for informing people and putting Black people, foundational Black Americans up front, then I don't think my show will be a good fit on your network anyways. And if you're going to play the go along to get along gang, and you want to play gatekeeper, and you want to give one good nigger some status over the bad nigger because the bad nigger says what he wants and I can't control him, then so be it. Let that individual do what he or she wants to do. Because the one thing that's important for me is not to ever, ever, ever compromise my integrity, right? So I'm never going to do that. So if it comes down to some tricks or some kind of ass kissing, some kind of ball riding, nut hugging shit I got to do to get on your network, if I got to, play squeamish when I'm strong, if I got to bend down when I'm really tall, if I got to bend over to pee, then when I really stand up to pee, I don't want to be on there, right? Like, it's fine. Keep your platform. Not to say everybody who has a platform is doing that, but, if the shoe fits, buy a matching purse, man. Y'all share the show, share the show, share the show, share the show. And remember, behind every great fortune is a great crime. And behind damn near every great crime is an old white man. I'll see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love.
Word.
Listen, the only way this thing will be official is if the people choose it. So that means share the show.